Oh shit. I'm live, I guess. Live, I guess, for another night. Let's see who all pops in on the chat room or who pops in on my Facebook Live. Watching Suns and the Mavericks game 3 right now, and it looks like the Mavericks have the lead 71 to 58. See who the leading scorers are for the Mavericks. Luka Doncic got 23, Jalen Brunson 16. Maxi Kubler got 9 off the bench. Spencer Dinwiddie only got 4, but he only played 15 minutes. And Reggie Bullock got 6. David Powell's got 2. Dorian Finley-Smith got 11. Ain't too bad. And let's see for the Suns who the leader. DeAndre Ayton 12. Chris Paul 7. Mikal Bridges 6. Devin Booker got 11. Jay Crowder 17. So Jay Crowder leads the team in points. So whenever Chris Paul has a bad game, you know the Suns are probably most likely going to lose. That's sort of been like the yeah, Rick, what's going on, bro? I see you on Facebook. What's up? Hey, Veronica, what's going on Facebook? Love you too, girl. What's going on? Marvin, what's going on, bro? Just doing all right. My Facebook fills up a lot faster than YouTube. I don't know why. YouTube just takes forever to get people on here, man. I kind of just do random streams now. I don't have I don't do it every day like I used to. You know, it takes a lot of stress off of you or puts a lot of stress on you as a content maker to have to push videos every single day. I see these guys doing it every day. It's just like I used to do that, but nah. It shit just bores the shit out of you, man, and it stresses you out, man. Yeah, man, I got the news. That's what I wanted to talk about. Kevin Samuels, man. On the contrary, man, look, y'all know how I feel about the guy. Personally, I'm not a real big fan of his. I think he's funny. I think he's entertaining. I think he does what he has to do to entertain people as a content maker. Um, I think some of the things that Kevin Samuel says has some truth to it. But I also think that a lot of the shit he says is contradictory. Like it all contradicts itself. And some of this is just straight up bullshit to sell to his viewers, you know. Because all these YouTubers, let me tell you something. For those you typer trolls that watch, or those just regular fans that just watch content makers, a lot of these content makers lie about shit just to get views and subs and to get likes and thumbs up. And it doesn't matter if your channel only has 5 subs, or if your channel has 1,000, or you have 10,000, or you have 20,000. Everybody on here sells bullshit just to push a narrative or an agenda and to get donations and because as a YouTube content maker, your channel is only determined by your subscribers. If your subscribers only want to hear certain content, then that's what most YouTubers gear towards, is most of what their subscribers say. Even if what they're talking about is really has no interest to them, but they're going to go where the subs go, and that's where the money's at. It's all about views and subs, all about money. The thing about Kevin Samuels, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. He's a funny guy. I'm not gonna take that away from him. Very entertaining, nonetheless. But a lot of the stuff he says, you kind of leave scratching your head. First and foremost, the whole no one wants to be with a hood ratchet ghetto chick and a girl that's opens her legs at the pookie. And I'm like, but then he goes on Nicki Minaj and he gives her a 9 out of a 10. And I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, why would you give her a 9 out of a 10 when you just said women like that were not worth marrying or worth being with, but you rated her a 9 out of 10? I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, it just leaves you scratching your head, and it's like, what? Wait a minute, doesn't that go against what you say? And then another thing he says, but really it's really what mainly Fresh and Fit say, or what I call fresh and shit. The thing that these guys do, with no disrespect, it is what it is their platform. They're going to say whatever. They'll sit there and tell guys, well, you don't want a girl that's been passed around. And then they'll flip it and say, well, make sure she's going to smash on the first date. You don't, you want to, and then they'll say, oh, well, if you're not traditional, if you're not a virgin, right? Like I even heard Kevin Samuel say that, but all the girls they're sleeping with are nothing but thoughts and strippers and no disrespect to OnlyFans chicks, but those are they're sleeping with girls who they're telling men not to go for. Like that doesn't make any sense. Like I'm watching their channel and I'm like watching their views, and every girl that Fresh and Shit has on their show are nothing but thoughts and whores. I mean, it is what it is, and they're getting passed around, and these are the girls they're sleeping with, and then they're sitting there telling these whores not to be whores. Like, what does that? I mean, like, what the fuck is this? And you're just scratching your head, like, what kind of bullshit is this? And it's like, I get it. It's entertainment. I get it. You know, you want to watch, and you think these guys are cool. But if you actually dissect the content they say, you can see through the lines, and you're like, dude, you're doing everything you're saying not to do. This doesn't make any sense. You know, like okay, like for example, like they'll say something like, and then they use what's called a bait and switch tactic. And I can see that they'll say, okay, for example, they'll say you don't want a woman that's been passed around or anything like that, right? Like you don't want those kind of women because they're nothing but whores and this and they're not traditional. But they're telling men to smash them on the first date. So if a woman is giving up pussy on the first date, then she's not traditional, but you're telling men to make sure they smash on the first date. So then by your logic, you just bait and switch the whole fucking thing. Like they basically just they countered their own argument. And I'm watching, and I'm sitting there, and all the guys are like, yeah. And I'm sitting there probably by myself, because I'm probably the Lone Ranger here. And I'm like, what? Like, what the fuck did you just say? You said what? Like, what? You just gave me two different answers and two different. Rick says, Fresh and Shit always contradict themselves. That's why I never watch their show. Well, the thing is some of the stuff they say is true, but they contradict their own. They actually argue their own answers. Like they don't realize it, but they actually will tell one thing and then they argue their own argument. It's fucking weird, but people don't actually listen to it. I'll give you an example. Let's just say, for example, and a lot of these guys do this on YouTube, and I even see this in the white sector too. They do this too. When I watch a lot of these guys, they'll say, you don't want a woman who is non-traditional, right? Like just for example, you want a woman that is if she's a virgin if possible. But if you're telling men to fuck on the first date, she's not traditional by definition. She's not, she's probably, if she fucked you on the first date, I guarantee she's been passed around. You're not the only guy hitting that. So this idea that in one spectrum, she has to be a virgin or has to have a low body count, but you're telling men that they have to fuck the first date. You can't sit there and tell me that's the first time she's fucked on the first date. And you can't tell me that's the second time and keep it with a straight face. She has probably been smashed a lot. So therefore, she's not traditional and she doesn't qualify. So then my question is, what the fuck are you fucking with her in the begin with if your video says otherwise? So it contradicts this. I'm just like, dude, so what the fuck? Like I'm thinking, like, the reason why I say this is because I used to be a salesman, right? And I still am to this day. We do a lot of bait and switch tactics like that. For example, car dealerships do this all the time. They'll post an ad, right? An ad, and it'll say, this car is for sale for $20,000, right? So they have a sign posted there, and you look, you say, okay, there's a for sale sign. It says $20,000 for the car. Hell, they did this to me when I bought my new car. They pulled this shit on me, you know. But I was already knew this. But this will happen. So you're eager. You're a young guy. You're eager. You want to buy a new car. You show up to the parking lot, right? And you're like, that's the car I want right there. It's on sale, brand new, $20,000. You show up. You talk to the dealer or whatever, the guy that's processing it. He tells you, yeah, that's a nice car. This and that. Here's your total. And you look at it and it says 27,000, right? Now, my car wasn't on sale for 20. It said 22,000, but after TTL 25. Okay, for a brand new Nissan Rogue, right? When he showed me the paperwork, it said 27,000. I said, damn, I know TTL is like 3, but where'd the other 2 come from? Oh, it's from all the upgrades and everything that I did to your car. Really? Don't the upgrades already come with the car? Yeah, it did. It was added in. I'm like, well, then where'd the 2,000 come from? Oh, that there's probably some hidden features and taxes. I'm like, right. So then you buy the car, right? You purchase the vehicle, and you put a down payment on the car, and then you finance the rest. That's what most people do, especially if you want to establish good credit. If you're a young guy, you want to establish your credit good, so that way your credit score goes up and up and up. So you put a down payment, you finance the rest for the car, right? So the guy says, okay, we're going to go through the bank, the interest rate, you got great impeccable credit, blah, 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 blah. Your rate is going to be, it should be no more than 3%, 4% interest, right? Because you have great credit. Sometimes you can get 1%, but in this time, like 3-4%, right? Okay. So by the time the bank processes your information and says you're qualified, and then gives you your statement, when you receive your first statement a month and a half after the car is bought, you realize that the total was even higher than what the dealer told you. By the time the bank got their hands on you, that car is almost $31,000. Now you're talking about a $9,000 increase from the sign that it said on the door of the brand new whip, and that's including TTL. Now you're talking about actually $6,000-7,000 higher than what they sold you. That is called a bait and switch. What dealerships do, just like salesmen do, right? Snake oil salesman, that's where Fresh and Fit get the snake oil salesman saying from, is they bait you with an ad. You show up to sit down. The dealer's job is to make sure before you walk out of that parking lot that you bought a car. Typically, young men are gullible and eager to buy a car. So what dealers do, they get you to sit down. They know you're eager. They know you're most likely 90% sure you're going to walk out with a car. So they throw the whole sell ad off and introduce you with a new car at a new price. And even sometimes they'll even get you to buy a more expensive vehicle. That, my friends, we call in business a bait and switch. Contractors do this. Car dealerships do this. Hell, even people that do dating do the same thing. How many times, ladies, have you ran into a guy that promised you the world and said he was this really great guy? That's an ad. And you come to, you let your wall down. He seems charming, maybe handsome, maybe a nice job, maybe not. Who knows? And so you give him the benefit of the doubt. And he puts this really good presentation of how great of a person I am, So you take the bait. And then a month later, 2 months later, as you get to know the person, you see some flaws start to come out. And you're like, okay, no big deal. It's just a little pebble. It's no big deal, right? Well, as the months go by and you throw those pebbles into that box, what eventually happens? The box fills up with a bunch of pebbles. So a bunch of small problems that fills up the box is the same thing as having a box with 2 small, huge, gigantic rocks. It's the same thing, same analogy. Same thing with girls. Women finesse dudes all the time. And that's where I do agree with Fresh and Fit, the Kevin Samuels, and all these guys. I do agree that women do finesse guys for free dates, free food, and of course, time, which is also, takes away from men who could be putting their time. And God knows I fell for that so many times. And it takes away from time and energy you could be putting on something else, whether it's business, friends, family, or even maybe another girl that you probably may even have a better chance with down the line. Basically, what YouTube content makers do is the same thing a snake oil salesman does. They sell you an ad of something, and then you come to find out their content is really nothing really about that. It's about the total opposite of that. And that's where you can kind of pick the stuff they say and you can kind of depict it. Now, do they make some great points about women finessing guys? Absolutely. I think women finesse dudes more than dudes finesse girls. I also think women run game better than guys do. That's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. There are some guys that are good at it, but I think women, vastly majority, are run game better than guys. I also think that it's easier for women to withhold sex from dates as opposed to men have to invest money and or time. That in itself is something that men have to do in order for the date to proceed. Like you have to spend a couple of dollars, you have to invest your time. Like that stuff you can't get away from as a guy. So it's easier for women to kind of withhold sex or withhold whatever it is the guy's looking for is probably sex, but relationship regardless of the point. So it is easier for women to string along men. I absolutely agree with that. There are some things they say that does hold some truth. Also the dating apps, Instagram, all these dating apps, and this is just my opinion. It's geared more towards the girls. It is. So, now you can be, obviously you're gonna say, well, there has to be guys on these sites, right? Absolutely. But I'm gonna say probably maybe half of the guys or maybe 60% of the men are on those sites, but they're not getting any replies. So whether it's 30 or I think the 80-20 rule, Rick, I think it's a little over exaggerated. I think it's more of like 65-35. I don't think it's 80-20. I think I think they're looking at it in terms of like status and income. I'm talking about like because I include also broke men that are also that also have game too. So like when I stretch that out, I think it's more like 35% of the men are getting most of the action and 65% aren't. Oh, I got a text message real quick. Let's see who's that. Okay. Oh, it's Marvin. Hey, Marvin, I'll send you the link when you get home, bro. If you want to talk. Yeah, I'll send it to you, bro. I'll text it to you. Just give me a minute. My bad. My coworker Marvin was messaging me. He said, "Man, this is a damn good stream. I can see where it's going." But like I said, there's some things that these guys say that are right. It's just some of the stuff they say you're kind of like, what? Again, one of the biggest things I disagree with is the idea that you can sleep with a woman on the first date and then consider her traditional after the fact. It's just like, well, if you're saying to men that these women aren't marriage material, then wouldn't you be encouraging men not to even mess with them at all? Like, wouldn't you encourage them to go after, like, for example, if chicks that are on Instagram, OnlyFans, and all these sites, if you're encouraging men to stay away from these women, my question is, why are they on your show to begin with? like that's what I'm kind of wondering. I'm like, why are the wrong types of women that look like they're been passed around by multiple groups of guys, which I do believe that most of them are whores. If that is the case, then why are they on your show? Like, to me, like I would think you wouldn't be putting those women on. I mean, I get it, they're good looking. I get it, you're probably fucking them after the show. I mean, I wouldn't doubt that they are, but I just figure like if it's really about teaching men about how women play the game, take advantage of this stuff, wouldn't you be putting just regular normal chicks on there that maybe aren't a part of these social media sites like Instagram influencers or OnlyFans, blah blah blah? You would just be putting like your average everyday Joe chicks, like maybe a chick that works at McDonald's, one that works at a Subway or Walmart, because there's some good looking chicks that work at my job that don't have an OnlyFans and all that shit. So like you could probably get like 2 or 3 chicks from like Walmart, maybe one from Subway, one from like just ordinary chicks, and saying, hey guys, these are the types of girls you want to go for. If let's say you don't have any status or clout, or you don't have $1 million in the bank, these are the types of women that you still have options to. You can talk to these girls too. I just wonder why I've never seen anybody really on this YouTube sector really promote the right types of women to date, as opposed to, well, look at my show. This girl's got an OnlyFans. This girl's got an Instagram account with 1 million followers. Like, she's a whore being passed around. I'm like, okay, but then why is she on your show then? Like, wouldn't you put like normal chicks, like with normal jobs? Like, it doesn't have to be a career either. Rick said it doesn't have to be a woman making 100,000 a year. You can get a chick that works at IHOP. Yeah, I mean, you could do that. You could put like regular Joe, like regular chicks on there, and honestly, you don't have to be the richest guy to date them either. You know, you could be a manager. Like, let's say you're a manager and you're making like, you know, maybe 80K a year, 90K a year, and there's a chick making $9 an hour. To her, 80K is a lot of money. And you could bring her in you know, like to her, that would be a lot. You know what I'm saying? You could do that. You could have a whole show where it's nothing but normal chicks and say, hey guys, these are the type of girls I think most men I think would have a shot against. You don't want those chicks at the upper higher end Shalon or whatever chicks, you know, whatever, doing whatever online. These are the types of girls you can go after. You know, like I don't really see a lot of education. I see more of a lot of regurgitation of the same talking points over and over. And it's like beating a horse with a beating a dead horse with a drum. It just eventually you're like, I've already heard this before. You say this, you're saying the same thing over and over. You're just adding a word or taking a word out. Why don't you just put something new? Like, why don't you do something new and say, hey guys, these are the type of women you want to go for? You know, what a lot of these guys on YouTube do is they put nothing but a bunch of low quality trash women on their shows. And it's not just Fresh and Fit, but a lot of these guys do this. They just put nothing but like whores on their show, and they're like telling them, and I feel like they're kind of lecturing them on what they're doing is wrong. I guess if that's what you want to do, but then why don't you put like some really like good looking girls that work at IHOP, and then that would be, to me, that would be cool, you know, or a girl that worked at a bank or something, or like you know, maybe one worked at Fuddruckers, you know, like because there's a lot of sexy waitresses. I be seeing them all the time at Hooters, Buffalo Wild Wings, where I used to work at, Applebee's, and Walmart. Walmart, we got at least about 4 dime pieces there, and I'm talking about most men wouldn't even notice them. Like, well, you would notice them if you saw them, but I'm talking about drop dead like dime. I'm talking about like 9 and 10s. At least got 4 of them at Walmart. 4 I know of. And you could do that. Like, you can sample size and say, hey, these are the kind of girls that I think would be best qualified for, not Instagram baddies or anything. Like, you could just do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that sounds like that would be pretty cool. If I saw any video maker do anything like that, we'll just put normal average girls on there. Rick said it's all about the girls shaking their ass and showing cleavage and stuff, and a lot of those girls do that. It's all about promoting their channels and there. It's all a money game. I know, I know, but I'm just saying, is it's just you hear a lot of like bait and switch tactics when I watch a lot of their content, and even in the white sector is the same way. You know, I saw this one white guy in France, and he's like an older guy. He's probably in his mid 40s. And I'd watch him. He's sitting in a Jeep, and he's like, hey, man, if you want to get all these bad chicks, man, all you got to do is follow my lead. You know, I'll show you. And I was watching his videos just for shits and giggles. And he was like at a young college party, like young, like college party in a balcony somewhere at some bar. And he was talking to all these chicks. He grabs one girl's hand, and he's like, my name's so-and-so, and he kissed her hand or something. That was kind of a little creepy. But then I figured it must have been staged, because I think any woman in that position probably would have slapped him or called the police. And the fact that that didn't happen, I was kind of like, okay, this is probably staged. You know, this probably is not really taking place, because no woman's going to let no random sucker just walk up and grab your hand and kiss it. Unless your name is Drake or something like you. You're a famous fucking guy. Maybe they can do that. But I've never in my life seen. Well, anyways, the point to the whole thing was that like, I remember he says, he goes, man, listen, dude, you want the chicks with the low body count, or you don't, or virgins if possible. Like, if you can get those girls, man, that's badass. And he's like, man, I'm about to pull some baddies right now. And the girls at the bar were all like, you can kind of tell they were a little wild. I don't know if their body count was high or not, but they ain't like no damn virgins to me. And it's just like, the girls they're chasing are not the girls that the girls are telling you to stay away from is the girls they're chasing. There's the girls they're getting. And I think, really, to tell you the truth, most of these guys who talk like this on their channels, I don't think they're really like teaching guys um, like the basics of like talking to women, getting to know them, stuff. I think it's more of a money grab. I think it used to be about teaching men about, game and how to talk to women. I think now it's just a money grab, and I think it's just a bunch of like commercialized crap to make money off. I think it's more of a money grab. Rich said the old MGTO and the old Red Pill content makers from 2010 to 2013 were decent. They actually taught you on the fundamentals of dating and this. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. He said, yeah, he said the original content makers were the best ones. He said now it's just been commercialized. A bunch of ain't shit dusties are on there talking now. Well, I'm not going to call them ain't shit dusties, but you're saying the crowd is not the same as it used to be. I keep hearing the name Patrice O'Neal. Like I hear that name come up, Rick, a lot. A lot of like guys mention him as like the original OG. I never knew him personally or watched any of his content, but that I've heard that name definitely before on the sector. And I remember even Marvin mentioned him. He said he was like, yeah, I used to watch a guy named Patrice O'Neal. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know who the guy was, but apparently he makes good content. He must have been from back then, if that's what you're referring to. Yeah, I do, Rick. I think that it's the dating coaches of today are, in my opinion, I think they're more of a hookup coach. I mean, I think it's just been commercialized. I think it's just commercialized hookup, quick fuck, quick sex in 24 hours, and that's cool. I mean, like, I guess that's cool. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like at the same time, it's like, okay, but like, what else? Like, what about for guys that like dating and getting to know people and stuff like that? What is, you know what I'm saying? Like, like eventually you're gonna like sex is gonna be on the table, but you just want to know after the fact. I do. I think most of them are just, again, just hookup coaches more so than anything. That's what they come across to me is most of these guys. It's just like hookup artists, and that's fine. Like, you meet up, you hook up, you have sex. Okay. No harm, no foul. I mean, I'm not going to shame them. I'm just saying that when I'm thinking of dating coach, I'm thinking of like the longevity of it. I'm not thinking about like the short term, quick sex on to the next. Like to me, that sounds more like a hookup coach than a dating coach. I just think they don't want to say hookup because of what do they call it? The cancel culture crap. So they don't want to like say hook up because then they're like, oh, I'm going to report your video or something. Again, I mean, there are some hot chicks that work at Burger King. Hell yeah. There are some hot chicks that work at the dentist office as a nurse. I mean, as the fucking typing on the keyboard. Dude, look, when I went to see my PCP yesterday, dude, the nurse was fine as hell. The receptionist was fine as hell, and the lady that charged me at the end they were all fine. I'm like, damn. Real talk. Like when I first went to see my PCP, she wasn't there, by the way. I had to see her like the little like group. I don't know what they call them, but like her constituents. Man, all the females she got up there at least are above a 7. At least. None of them are under 7. I saw a 9 in there and a 10 in there. And I said, damn. And I haven't even been to my PCP. I haven't even seen my PCP in 4 years. And I was going to get my annuals, like they do blood check and all that shit to make sure my kidneys and my organs are running. And I said every single one of them were fine as hell. I was like, man, damn. You got ordinary chicks out there in the field, man. Why are they only digging in on OnlyFans and Instagram models? Like, I get that they look good too. I'm not saying they're not used to be normal, but I just feel like it's more commercialized. If you get like, let's say a porn star, like Pamela Anderson, let's say in her prime, and you bring her on your show, and you're like, hey, here's Pamela Anderson, right? And Carmen Electra. Then all the dudes are going to be looking, yeah, she's going to be fine and all, but you already kind of know her. She mainstream, so you already expect that. I'm like, I expect you as a YouTuber, as a popular YouTuber, to probably have the resources or connections to get to these women. But where are the ordinary chicks at? Where are the chicks on the bottom at? I want to know where, because the reason why I say this, because if most men are invisible to most girls, which I do believe that, by the way, that's one thing Fresh and Fit, Kevin Samuels, Red Pill content makers do say, is that most men are invisible. I agree with that, actually. I agree with that. Not everything they say is wrong. I agree with that. So if that is the case, if we're invisible to most girls, which that is true, then why don't we just start promoting the girls that aren't on OnlyFans and aren't Instagram models or don't have some sort of clout like that? Why don't we get ordinary chicks that are fine as hell or attractive, and you could put them on your show and then say, hey, let's ask these girls what they're into stuff. And I'm not saying that they're not going to want to do 6 feet tall, rocking abs and money, but the point is I think those, like, I would like to see what ordinary chicks that aren't in those fields think, like, that haven't been popularized, that don't have probably a massive ego, and that aren't widely known, like just some ordinary chicks, and just kind of see where they're at, and then go from there. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I cannot go on a lot of their channels and learn anything. Why? Because first of all, most men in their 20s are ignored anyway, and secondly, I can't get any of those chicks that they're getting. So it would be irrelevant to me to watch their channels based on that. You see what I'm saying? I would have to watch a channel that just has ordinary chicks on there and then go from there, because most men, even their 20s, are ignored. And that's the truth. Like, most younger girls date older guys, which is another reason why, and I'll say I do agree with Fresh and Fit on this, is that older men do date younger girls. I've seen it. And that is usually how it works. Usually 5-6 years apart. But, you have like your bigger wage gap of like 10, 20 plus, whatever. That does happen. Usually it's a sugar daddy kind of ordeal. A 50-year-old man, a 19-year-old girl, he's probably got some money, just saying. No harm, no foul, right? No harm, no foul. And the thing is the thing is most older men date down because usually most of them are ignored in their 20s. And the girls that were younger got to have fun and go to the parties and got to date some probably attractive guys, probably even in their age range bracket, or got to date up. It wasn't uncommon when I was in high school. Most of my homegirls were dating college guys and guys after college. I didn't say anything, but that's what it was. Like, every one of their boyfriends were in the 20s, some in their 30s. Did I say anything? No. Was I where it was happening? Absolutely. In fact, even like, I'm gonna tell you something right now, even Hispanic girls are like that too. Hispanic chicks especially. Like, they'll be like 14, 15, and their boyfriend's like 30. Now, of course, we live in a different time now, but even when I was younger, like, that thing was normal. I'm not arguing it is. I'm not saying I would do that, but I'm just saying I've seen it. It should be like 14, 15. Our boyfriend's fucking 30, 31. Parents knew everything. You say shit. So basically what happens is the younger guys are usually ignored. So when they become in their 30s, well established, they've, in their careers and acquire some money, then they say, well, wait a minute, hold on. And I'm talking about most men, not all, but most men. They say, wait a minute, hold on. I had literally no access to girls. I had literally whatever, no luck. So now you're 32, 33, and you're on a little come up for most guys. And you say, you know what, man? I never got to experience any of this shit. So let me go ahead and test the waters, and you know what I'm saying? So, in my opinion, I don't blame older men to a degree for dating younger girls as long as it's legal. No minors, as long as it's legal age. Under the confines that most guys usually don't have that experience in their 20s. That's just my opinion. Now, we may have different arguments. And I think that's the part where women seem to don't understand is like, they're like, well, why are all these like 30-something-year-old guys dating like a 21-year-old girl or 24? And I can't speak for all, but I think most men were ignored in their 20s. So I think now they're experiencing this for the first time in their 30s. Because look, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I still got dudes to this day telling me in your 30s is when it gets better. I'm like, for real? They're like, yeah. Like all my friends, 33, 34, 35, 40, guys at Walmart in their 40s, they typically say most men don't find success till probably mid 30s, like when you're in your prime and you're at your peak. You know what I'm saying? So like 35 and up, like 35 to 45, like when you start reaching that prime. And I didn't think that was like, well, that doesn't sound like that has any truth to it. But then I really thought about it. I said, you know what, man, that does seem like that makes kind of sense. Cause like most of my homegirls, all their boyfriends are like 30 something plus. I'm like, all the dudes they fuck with, nothing under 32. And I said, damn, I sitting there thinking back, I'm like, you know what? There is a little truth behind that. Like I'll even give you another example. Like my uncle, like he's married to a Latin girl, right? On my dad's side. My dad's white, by the way, but on my father's side. He was 37, 38 when and he didn't have hardly any women look his way. I'm talking about no women look his way. But when he started becoming successful business-wise, it sort of helped him out a little bit. But he still had to go out there and talk and get to know people. Like, you're not going to escape that. But he met this Latin girl at the park, and he was jogging around, started talking to her, and she was like 22, 23. And he just was walking his dog, just started chatting. And next thing you know, they started dating, and now he's got 2 kids with her, and they're married. And my uncle now is 50, I think, 50, 51. So she's got to be about 36, 37, give or take, about 36, 37. I think give or take 36, 37. I could be wrong, but somewhere around there. But I look at it from his perspective. He had literally no play in his younger days. And now when he got older and he became more successful, got a truck, owned a truck, paid the house off, his own house off, it opened the door. Doors started opening for his opportunity. And I remember I asked him, I said, damn, ain't she a little too young for you, bro? Like, she like 22, 21. How old are you? He's like 37, 38. I'm like, oh. This was a long time ago, by the way. And he just said, look, man, he said, I ain't got no play in my fucking 20s. He said, now I'm going to fucking ball hard. I said, oh, shit, all right. I didn't really understand it then because I was too young, but I look back and I say, you know what, man, that does kind of make sense. It's like most dudes are invisible to most girls. So when they get older and if they lined up their assets properly, if, acquired a job, got a little income, bought a car, got a house or whatever, they're kind of like, okay, this is my first time experience for many men. So there's some stuff that these guys say that does hold truth to it. And that's why, like, again, about Kevin Samuels, some of the stuff he says is true. I think Fresh and Fit do a better breakdown than he does. But at the same time, it's just, it comes more of a commercialized money grab. After a while, you hear the same thing over and over. They just reword it a couple times, but it's the same. Like, you've seen one episode, you've seen them all. It's the same thing they say over and over. And it's like, okay, I get what you're saying, how men have to level up, get the money and, secure your money and secure your career, focus on that, blah, 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 and hit the gym and blah, 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 blah. When you hear that, it's kind of like, okay, I get it. I understand that concept. Like thoroughly, I think that's kind of like that's a least common denominator of your argument that men can come to and say, okay, I get that. But when he repeats it over and over again, and then the women he brings on there, he's telling them, well, you're not wife material, you're modern women. It's like, oh, okay, so then where are the girls at that we should be going after? Yeah, I mean, and then my question is, if these girls are so bad, why are you fucking them, or why are you even fucking with them to begin with? And that's what puzzles me is I'm like, well, if these women are not qualified for marriage and they're not, why are you even giving them the time of the day? I mean, I get it. You want to laugh at them, you want to expose them, you want to get their views, and I get that. But at the same time, if all you got is strippers and porn stars and OnlyFans chicks on your channel, I'm not stupid. I know you're fucking them. The world knows you're fucking them. So isn't it contradicting to say these chicks are non-marriageable, blah, blah, blah? You shouldn't, we're making men aware of these kind of women. And then once the show goes off, you're partying with them and you're sleeping with them, and you probably have a situationship with them. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. It does. Rick said it doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't. Okay, we don't want a girl with high body count. Why the fuck you got high body count bitches on your show? And then you're fucking them. Oh, well, that you got to understand. I'm like, it seems like to me it's a money grab. It's not really educational. And when you reiterate the same thing over and over again, it's like, okay, we've already heard this before. Like, tell me something new. Oh, you just get your money game up and hit the gym. It's like, okay, I already know that, but what else is new? Like, why don't you bring the women on the show that we should be fucking with? That's my question. And it's not just Fresh and Fit. It's all these guys, even on the white sector. Same thing. They do the same thing. They pull nothing but a bunch of thoughts and strippers and fucking fucking porn stars and fucking bitches going viral and stuff for getting fucked by three guys. It's like, dude, like, if you're partying with all those types of women, it seems like to me you're not doing a good job of staying away from them. Sounds like to me you're kind of enjoying the party. And then that's cool. But then what's the fuck is the bullshit content you're saying? The bullshit coming out of your mouth. It's contradictory. I mean, let's say if women, for example, was to play that card and say, you know what, Mr. Rose, I'm not ever giving out sex again. And women were to volunteer for 3 weeks not to give out any sex. So just giving a hypothetical here. And then these channels come out and say, these women are refusing sex. Don't take them out on a date. Don't even bother, right? So then the women say, okay, well, we want the date, so we're going to give out the pussy. So then they give out the pussy, and everybody, you get pussy, I get pussy, he gets pussy, everybody gets it, right? And then they come out with a show, and they're like, see how easy these girls are? That's all they have to do is just give out the pussy. And I'm kind of like, okay, you're telling men, and again, the white sector is guilty of this too. White sector of Mjito and all that. You say in one hand, right, that these girls have to have sex on the first date, but then you're saying, on the other hand, that you don't want a girl with high body count. You see how those two conflict and they intertwine. They're actually both polar opposites. They bang together and go in two separate directions, both arguments. You basically just address both sides of the argument that contradict and bounce off each other's argument. It absolutely makes zero sense what you just said. Like, make that make sense. Make that make sense. And last but not least, I think the question that I guess comes in my mind through is, and it's that one white guy too that brought this up. I can't think of his name. God, he was a genius. He said, and I always was wondering this too. why participate in something you don't like? If you're against what these women are doing, which I kind of agree with some of what they're saying, I honestly think social media has ruined a lot of women. I personally think so. And if what you're saying is true, then why be a participant in a game you don't like? That's the question I've always wondered. Why participate in a game you don't like? That's like saying, I hate liver and onions. I've tried it and it's nasty. I'll never eat liver and onions. It's disgusting. And then I end up going to a restaurant and saying, I would like to have an order of liver and onions. You would be like, what? You just said you hated it. That's how I look at a lot of these video makers. Is the same analogy. It's more of a money grab, cash cow video to I feel like they're just telling us what we want to hear, not what we need to hear. Yes, we're aware that these women are thoughts, Instagram models and influencers and stuff. They have high expectations and blah, 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 blah. Okay, fine. Cool. Well, then tell me the girls I should be going for. Tell us the women that us guys should be going after. Because, and it's nothing personal. If you guys like Fresh and Fit and Kevin Samuels, that's, hey, all power to you guys. That's cool. But to me, I wish I would have known the guys from the beginning, because all my buddies tell me you should have watched Patrice O'Neal and all these other dudes from the get-go. Like Marvin, he's a good friend of mine from Walmart. He said Patrice O'Neal, and he was naming a whole bunch of these guys I never heard of. He said those dudes had game. Those dudes had charisma. Those dudes told you, they gave you the education. He said these dudes that are on here now are just a bunch of commercialized bait and switch snake oil salesmen. They just tell you one thing and they do the other. And they don't really mean anything they say. Kevin Samuels, I think he's a great guy. I think he has a funny personality. I think he trolls a lot. He doesn't really handle criticism too well. He advises his fans to flag down videos of people who even say anything about him. I think that's kind of childish, in my personal opinion. But I mean, if that's what he wants to do, that's fine. But I just think a bunch of the women they go after are just a lot of the women they speak out against. To me, that doesn't sound organic. To me, that doesn't sound like that means they're actually saying what they're preaching. Like, for example, any woman over 30 is hit the wall and it's too late. You have kids and you can't get a man. When I've seen women personally, 38, 39 and got married. I mean, a couple of times. Not saying all, but I've seen it happen. It does. But allegedly, his death, he was chilling with a nurse who was 32, and that's what compelled me to make the video. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. So the nurse he was fucking with was 32. I thought all these dudes were saying once they hit 30, it was over. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing with a 32-year-old? Which, that's fine. He has all the power to sleep whoever he wants. If the girl's 35 or 40 or 45, hey, all power to him. But I thought you said that over 30. And that's when you hear this stuff, you're like, what the fuck? Like, what kind of shit is this? It's like shit in one hand, piss in the other, and see what fills up the fastest. It's like, what about the content you were just saying? You just said over 30. And that's when you're left scratching your head. And that's when you wonder, these dudes are nothing but a bunch of snake oil salesmen, bro. And that's cool. They're entertaining to watch. It's fun to watch them. Fresh and Fit, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I watch their shows and I laugh at some of the stuff they say because they're funny. I'm not going to say they don't have talent, because I'd be a hater if that was the case. Everybody on YouTube that's popular in some way can entertain their audience. But I think that's where it ends. That's where it starts and ends. I think it's all entertainment, and I think it's all just it's just a money grab. It's just a commercialized money grab to tell men what they want to hear in order to get them to donate. I think that's what it is. And I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm saying I wouldn't even doubt it if they turn the camera off and watch some of their videos and they're like, Man, that's kind of was bullshit what I was saying. Oh, fuck it. I don't care. I made 500 off that video. Salesmen do it all the time. It's a cutthroat world we live in. So it's not even nothing to even be mad about. You know what I'm saying? Because in my line of work, you got to be taught to, you got to be a good fucking liar. What makes them any different? You see what I'm saying? Rick said it's no different than some of your phony ass friends who sit there and say they sleep with all these women, turn out they don't. Yeah, people will say anything. If it sells, man. And then you come to find out that all the shit they were saying, they contradicted. You're kind of like, what? And then you just realize it's just human nature, man. It's just commercialized stuff. A lot of these video makers are like that now. A lot of the video makers back then when I first got on, they felt organic. Now the video makers that have been coming along the last 2 or 3 years are just more of like commercialized crap, commercialized propaganda just to make money. So like if they're like, yeah, man, I did this and that. I'll admit it if you donate me $100, so you donate $100. Yeah, I did that. It's something like that. I don't know, man. I think it's just more of a money grab, viral. I'm going viral. I'm instantly famous kind of ordeal. I'm going to run with it until I can't run with it anymore. Till my time's like Derek Jacks. He used to come across as like this. I mean, he's a good looking guy on the basis of he's in shape. His symmetrical face looks nice. And, he has a nice house and a lot of women think he's hot. Okay, fine, whatever. So he would make videos of basically letting women know how men run game. That's basically what he was doing. He was saying, hey, if this dude, if he don't answer your call in a week, he's probably fucking with another female. Like he'll say shit like I used to watch it. And he used to sell himself as like this perfect guy. So he was like, and all these women, especially black women, were all like, oh my God, he's God's gift to man. So like he's the Kevin Samuels of like the opposite spectrum. And they're like, yeah, Derek Jacks, man. And then to be fair, Hispanic girls even kind of jumped on the bandwagon, a couple of white girls, some white women too. And they would be like, yeah, man, this is the guy, this is the man, And then come to find out, when the whole Derek Jacks thing came out and he was messing around on his wife and had some side chicks. And after all that shit went down, his YouTube channel took a big hit. Like he went from almost 1 million subs to 500. I think he's like less than 500, but he's making money off his Facebook. He really doesn't even use YouTube to promote his channel anymore. He'll just upload a couple of videos, but his dislike ratio is so bad he don't even post videos anymore. Like he don't even care about his YouTube channel. He just promotes himself on Facebook. And so once the girls found out, they were upset. And then he kind of charmed and sweet talked his way in and then got back in under their ropes. And then now the girls are all head over heels of him again. So it's kind of like, whatever. But he was a snake oil salesman. He was trying to sell himself as this perfect guy when he was no different than the other guys I probably criticized, And to be fair, he did it as a marketing tactic to make money off of vulnerable people that felt sorry for him. Fun fact, men on YouTube hustle other men too. Yeah, duh. Where do you think most of the money that Kevin Samuels and Fresh and Fit and all them make? They make it off of vulnerable guys that can't get chicks. 95% of their donations are from guys who can't get girls that are watching their channel religiously, that are hoping and praying it'll change their life. And a small percentage probably did. Vast majority of them probably didn't. Either way, it was a marketing strategy. It was just a marketing strategy. That's all it was. It is what it is, man. I'm not like trying to be a dick, but a lot of people use snake oil salesman tactics to sell or to buy into a product or to sell you what the bullshit they're saying. But you can depict parts of their conversation. You're like, wait a minute, what? What did you just say? You're saying don't fuck with chicks with high body counts, but you're telling men they have to sleep with women on the first date to make sure your date is fulfilled. I'm like, well, I can guarantee you those bitches that are fucking you on the first date are not traditional women. Because a traditional woman, technically, by definition, would save her shit till marriage, right? So why the fuck would she be fucking on the first date if she was a traditional woman? I mean, she's non-traditional. So that then in theory, like, well, we're not marrying any of those women anyway. We're just fucking. I'm like, okay, well then why play? Why take part in a game you don't like? If which I agree with you on your actual narrative that a lot of these women are making some, they're making not the best decisions, and I agree. But you're still taking the time of the day to fuck with a bunch of ain't shit bitches, and then tell them they ain't shit, and then not telling men the type of women they should mess with, and then you're partying and sleeping with the girls that you despise, and you're playing the game that you don't want to play. Make that make sense. That's why, like, again, it's just, I guess it's sort of like a smoke and mirrors effect. And that's why it's hard for me to watch their channels without questioning some of the things they say, because it contradicts each other. And that's what I'm saying. If you just want to party and you want to sleep around with girls, then just say it. Just say, hey, look, we ain't even trying to get married. Look, hey, look, I just want to fuck around with some girls, and this is what you can do. Just be a hookup coach. Stop putting dating coach and trying to make it sound like you're this charming guy. No, because when you say dating coach, you're making it sound like you're some charming guy with promises or some sort of dream you're selling. That's a bait and switch tactic. What you really are saying is you're baiting with the dating coach and you're switching up with a hookup artist. You're a hookup coach. Just say, I'm a hookup coach. I'm just trying to teach men how to get laid. Just say that. That's all you have to say. And look, these are a bunch of ain't shit fucking bitches anyway, and this is how you can fucking fuck around with all these bitches. You know? Show me the types of women that I should be fucking with, man. That I should be marrying or I should be with. Stop showing me the ain't shit fucking thoughts, strippers, porn stars. I don't want none of them bitches, man. Show me the real women. Show me the authentic, organic women. Show me that. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to learn from. I want to see videos like that, man. It sucks that Kevin Samuels passed away. He's a funny guy. Actually was binge watching a lot of his videos the other day. I don't always agree with everything he says, but I do think he's a funny, entertaining guy. If you just want to be entertained, you want to laugh, get to know the guy, it's all entertainment at the end of the day. That's all it is. It's all these YouTubers are. It's all entertainment at the end of the day. That's it. Nothing more. That's it. Just like my video right now. It's all entertainment if that's what you want to consider it. May not, because you're like, well, your channel's a dead channel anyway. Good. Glad. But again, if you want to just learn something, man, I feel like you should learn this shit off of YouTube, man. Go find some motherfuckers to go talk to. These guys on YouTube, these video makers, man, I don't know, man. I just don't buy into a lot of the stuff they say, even though I do agree with some of it. But I feel like they're living the opposite life that they're telling you not to do. I just think, as Rick said, it's just a point to get them more pussy, Steve. Maybe. Again, at the end of the day, it's a money cash thing, and that's it. That's all it is. It's just entertainment. And maybe they're going to promote themselves to get more pussy from girls they probably couldn't hook up with in the past. Cool. But that doesn't do anything for the rest of the guys. And I think that's the point I'm trying to make. Beware of these types of women. Okay, well then why are you sleeping with them then? Like, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And they're like, well, you want to make sure on the first date you get laid. Well, the only types of chicks that are fucking on the first date are definitely not the ones you're marrying. So they're not traditional then, by definition. So then, in other words, you got to fuck around with the whores and all that shit. Not that I'm saying if you gave it up on the first date, you're a whore, but if by definition of what they're saying is that she's a whore, then they're telling you to fuck the whore and don't mess around with her. I mean, don't give her the time of the day, but just go out and fuck her. And
I don't know. It's just weird to me. You know. Let me go ahead and read. I haven't read one comment since I've been in here. Let me go ahead and start from the beginning. Let me see if anybody roasted me. Hey, Diamond, how's it going? Zargon, yo, what's up? There are different stories around his death. He died from cardiac arrest, heart attack, and drug overdose. Damn, he does drugs. I didn't know that. Yeah, they do. People don't look into what's said. People just want to be entertained. Yep, Zargon, you said it. There are two types of girls. Some are recreational use only, but most girls are the average girls that are out there. They're actually above. They're actually above average because Miami is for only successful people. Yeah, I mean Miami's an expensive area to live in. So is California. I never watched them either, but always hearing about them. You seem to be conflating it. What they're doing is showing what type of girl to look out for. I never said I heard them say that. Well, I'm telling you from experience, Fresh and Fit are absolutely 100. Well, I'm not saying that some of the stuff they say aren't true, Marquise. I'm just saying that some of the stuff they say kind of contradicts itself. Oh, the rating system? That's where you're wrong, bro. Getting to know a woman won't make her like you. You should see a video about my college friend Marcy and how I took her from her boyfriend. Oh, I remember you were mentioning about that, Facepalm. Hey, Crispy Cruiser, what's going on, bro? Girls either like you or they don't. Waste your time with a girl who's making you jump through hoops. Yeah, I agree with that. You're absolutely right. Dating is dead. Both males and females are for everybody. I set up a throwaway Reddit account, pretending to be a 23-year-old woman. I got 45 messages in 2 days. Oh, wow. You probably got a bunch of dick pics behind it. So women may not like Fresh and Fit, but they respect them. Yeah, I mean, again, their channel is directed for them to get more pussy. There's nothing wrong with that. What? The Burger King girls are way worse? So many working at Walmart and Amazon. The quiet ones are the worst ones. For real? 95% of girls I had sex with, it happened in the first 2 days. I agree. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it's not. Hey, Azul Ranger, how's it going, man? I want a clone of myself, and life could be much easier. Have you ever seen Multiplicity with Michael Keaton? He had like 12 of them. Those ordinary girls are way worse, bro. I'm telling you. What? They're way worse than the other chicks he was bringing on the show. What's up, Donovan? They won't do the exact same thing, bro. As the hot girls, that thing you become attracted to women, almost all girls will like you. I've been hit on by McDonald's girls and models. That's what's up, bro. That's wild. But yeah, I was like that. It only gets better if you work on yourself. True. He is right. There are still losers at 35. Peace and blessings, brother. Hey, bro, bomb, what's going on? Ted is my name. What's up? It could be location. Yeah, that's true. That would be only affect a small amount of men. Most guys aren't getting laid. Yeah, he's right. Marquise actually is right. Rolly Tomasi. I'm going to have to start watching him. Patrice O'Neal taught me the only way to win is not to play. Okay. That's what's up. Saying women hit the wall at 30 is a huge cop. Every woman takes care of herself. She 35. Women don't hit the wall till about 40 or 45. Is it true that men peak later than women, late 30s and 40s? But the myth says that there's no wall for men either. Read the comments. I am, man. Now that guy was a liar. Oh, he's talking about what's his name, about Jared Jackson. I was conditioned to treat a woman like queen. Does not work. Yeah, I agree. I agree, man. No, Rick says the only girls that are on the dating apps now are the sub to my Snapchat and Instagram. Follow my Instagram or my OnlyFans account, or they're either bots or scammers. Wow, I believe it. It gotten worse. I think dating sites are mainly meant for girls anyway. Why I say that? Because the guys that go on there don't get any DMs. You get dusty DMs, which means a bunch of dust in your fucking inbox thread, and a bunch of bots and scammers that say the same 5 lines over and over. So it's not a real profile. It's a bot or it's a scammer, or whatever. Or they'll send you a message saying to renew your subscription to Zeusk or whatever for 6 months for $75.95 or whatever the case is. Girls can get on there and be a busted up too, and she'll still get 50 DMs just right off the bat, just because she's a girl. Like, I know some girls personally are some busted up 2s and 3s, and you ought to see the dudes that be trying to talk to them. I'm talking about God, and look, I'm not gay or nothing, but real talk, these are guys that you think the 9s and 10s are getting. Like those girls are getting those guys too. Like women, y'all don't realize how easy y'all have it. Like I know you can get pregnant, the dude can run off, and I know like I hear those counter arguments a lot. So they'll say, well, at least you don't have to bear children from a guy that may or may not be in the picture. Yeah, I agree with that too. The women aren't exactly like out of the picture in terms of like you know, in a situation to where they're with an ain't shit dude, and that could happen. But let's just be honest, like it's not hard for most of you girls to land a date or to get a reply or even to even message dudes. Y'all don't even have to have a line. Do y'all even have to have a pickup line? No, that's almost unheard of. All you gotta do is just have a profile with the right pictures. And just like 6 or 7 pics. You don't even have to fill up your about me. You don't have to fill none of that out. You know, dudes have to fill all that shit out. When you get when I used to have a Zeus and OK Cupid and all that, bro, you got to fill all that information out. Guys don't even read about the girls, like about me and all that. Like some girls will fill it out. Like I'm looking for a nice, charming guy or blah, blah, blah. Most dudes will just look at the pics. Oh, she fine. I'll DM. Or she a woman. I'll DM. You know what I'm saying? Girls don't have to do none of that shit. Y'all women are lucky. In fact, you don't have to fill out your profile. Just put gender F and put like 5 photos. That's it. That's it. And you'll get DMs. And maybe you could put like maybe 1 line or something on your about me. You don't even have to fill the whole thing out. For dudes, man, you got to take pics. You got to take photos. You got to fill everything out. You got to at least have about 5, 6 sentences on your about me. And that's not even including your profession. You got to put the profession down, which I mean, dudes can lie about that shit too. But I mean, but again, you still have to fill it out. You have to fill all that shit out. And then you still got to go out and DM. And that's the hope your DM even gets read, much less responded to. You ladies have it lucky. And I'm not a hater. I'm not saying this to hate. Okay. So if any of you ladies come in here and say, oh, you're misogynistic, you're being a hater. No, it's cool. I'm just saying you guys have it easy. Easy. If you break up with your boyfriend, husband, whatever, in less than 24 hours, you couldn't have another date just like that. And you ain't even got to be a 5. You ain't got to be a 4. Hell, you could be a busted up 2 and get a date the next day. Even if that dude himself is a busted up 2 in the looks department, you'll still have the opportunity to go out and date again almost instantly. Hell, some girls do it as a sport. I know a homegirl of mine, she used to go on like 3 dates a week, different dudes. You know how much work I'd have to put into to do something like that? Hell, I'll be lucky to get 3 in a month, let alone 3 in a day or 3 in a week. There was a period of time where I was talking to 5 women. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Look, no harm, no foul. I ain't got no problem in it. They were all just a bunch of busted up fucking 4s and 5s. They were average, just average looking. Average Joes. Nothing fancy, nothing you know, like no like drop dead 9 or 10. And I'm cool with that. I'm like, you know, sometimes as men, you got to play by your options. If your options are only 4s and 5s, you got to get that until you get something better. Or if maybe you find something in there and you see something in her, that's cool too. But most men can only fuck what they can get. Most men can only talk to women that they can get. Hence the reason why when a lot of women say, you guys are thirsty and desperate and you're for everybody. And I hear this shit all the time from a bunch of angry women on these dating apps or like Moco or Facebook. And they'll go on a rant and say, you guys are for everybody. You're in every bitch's DMs. Y'all are desperate. Y'all are thirsty. You got no game, blah, blah, blah. And I used to give them the benefit of that. I'm like, yeah, you know, we are kind of a little desperate and thirsty at times. I ain't gonna lie. But then I thought about it, I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. First of all,
most men's messages don't even get responded to anyway. So you might get a bunch of thirsty dudes hitting you up, but none of them getting responses. Now, if you're talking about a small percentage of men that are getting responses and DMs and are playing the game and playing the field, yeah. If you want to say that, that's cool. But for some odd reason, women seem to think that every man has options of girls when that's far from the truth. Most men can only fuck what they can get. I ain't gonna lie. I only fuck what I can get. I can only talk to who I can get. I can only mess around with who I can mess around with. That's it. I ain't no fucking, Clint Eastwood walking around or whatever, or whatever, John Wayne or Brad Pitt, George Clooney, any of those motherfuckers, I can only fuck what I can get. So whenever the girls say, "Oh, y'all are just thirsty," I said, "Well, most men can only fuck what they can get." So if one girl jumps in your DMs, it's common sense. If a girl jumps in your DMs and she's actually like legitimate, like a real person, and you may not even score again for another 4 months, then 95% chance that dude's gonna hit it just because he already knows in his mind, man, it's probably gonna take me another 4 or 5 months before I get any more. God damn it. Come on, let's get this over with. I'm just saying. And then of course you're still gonna have guys on the other side of the spectrum that do get pussy and they may smash a girl that's an average or below average. And I can't really speak for those guys, but I can say that they probably just did it because they could. Maybe it was a power thing. I don't know. Some guys are turned on by the power ego thing, like the power trip. Like I'm gonna fuck you because you should be glad that I'm even giving you the time of the day because I'm a 10 and you're a 5, or whatever the case is. Which I'm not a 10, by the way. No, nowhere near it. I'm like I give myself a 5. On a good day, if I dress well, groom well, and I'm in decent shape, I could probably pass by as a 6. I've done it before. So I give myself a 5 right now. But if I really like applied myself, dressing, looking good like I used to, I give a 6. Most men are ignored. Rick says I'm ugly as fuck and I have to have a lot of game. I have to put in a lot of game to get the girl I'm with now. Yeah, that most men are like that. It's nothing wrong with that. It just is what it is. Most men are ignored. So that's why a lot of dudes have to overwork themselves, to get noticed because of that. And nothing wrong with that. It is what it is. Why deny it? No, nothing is worse than having a guy telling you he's banging all these chicks to come to find out he's a fucking lying piece of shit. And there are a lot of guys, there are some guys that are like that. I had a friend of mine that was like that. I got tired of hearing it. He would always tell me, "Yeah, man, I got all these bitches, man. I'm fucking these girls so late." After like 3 or 4 months of hearing that crap, and he would call me, he's like, "Man, this bitch right here, I was fucking her," and so I'm like, really? And I know this dude ain't got no game either. I know him. Went to school with him. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, So you banged all these girls right here? You banged that one too? He's like, "Yeah, man, I did." I said, "Really?" I said, "Dang, you don't say." I said, "She's like a 9 or a 10. You sure you did that?" "Yeah, man, I did." And I said, "Okay, you're going to start showing me some fucking receipts now." He's like, "What's that?" I'm like, "You're going to show me proof that you had sex with these girls because I'm not buying it, dude. 3 months straight, every fucking week? Nah. I never even seen you with a girl." I said, "Well, let me see the fucking receipts, man. You show some fucking receipts." He's like, "What is that? Some new internet term?" I said, "Absolutely, motherfucker. Now it's time to start showing receipts." And I never even asked motherfuckers for the receipts, but that's one guy I had to ask because every fucking day, come on, man. Every fucking day, every fucking week, I finally, after 3 months, I said, "Okay, gloves are off. I got to start seeing some proof now, sir." So you're asking to see my cock? I'm like, "No, what I'm asking to see is a picture of you with her and the proof that you did what you said you did." And he couldn't provide any proof. He's like, "Man, I ain't got to show you nothing. I don't got nothing to prove to you." I'm like, "Well, sir, when you tell me every week you're banging girls, you got to come on, man. It's time to come out. You got to show something, man. I got to start seeing some proof, man. I have to, man. I mean, hell, look, listen. Me and QB Willie, we've had our differences. He's not a bad guy either. So if he's watching this video, I honestly think he's a pretty cool guy. I've met him before in person back in 2016 or 2017, one of those. I don't remember. It was back when I was in Cali. Okay. Even though me and QB had our differences, at least he provided his proof. And the sad thing about it is QB Willie's actually provided me more proof than any of these fucking idiots on YouTube that swear to God they get all these women. And I'm not saying they don't get girls, but it's like a needle in a haystack asking these dickheads for proof. But QB Willie is more than willing to show you videos and pictures. I'm not saying that, oh, yeah, you're sitting there harassing him for that. No. He showed me it willingly. I never even asked for the proof or the receipts. Personally, I wasn't even a non-believer of requesting people to prove. I just took it by the word of mouth. But at least he provided the fucking proof. I'm like, damn, he provided me more proof than these video makers do. I'm like, holy shit. Crazy part, most people that prove it, that get all these girls, are not even on YouTube. A lot of them are like, they either watch a YouTuber or two here or there, but most of the guys that show proof are not even on YouTube, and they're willing to show you the proof. But guys on YouTube, you ask them for proof of anything they do, they fucking get mad, they start throwing shit, temper tantrums, cursing you out, you motherfucker. It's like, dude, if you're talking all this mad shit on YouTube, why don't you just prove what you're saying then? And just show me a picture of the girls you've been fucking with, and I'll leave it alone. Oh, well, you're just mad because you don't get any girls. Okay, but I openly admitted that I haven't been dating in a while. I openly admitted that I haven't had a romantic encounter with a woman in a while. But I openly admitted those things. It's not like I sat there and lied. I admitted it. So why can't you just show me the proof then? So that way I can shut up about it. Because to me, it sounds like you're blowing a lot of hot air out of your ass. And a lot of these YouTube video makers are like that, man. And when you start calling them out, they start getting upset. It's like, why are you getting upset? If you're saying you're doing all this, then start show me some fucking proof. Jesus fucking Christ. What do you think of that Wilder guy? You talking about that Ray Wilder guy? Guy's a weirdo. I don't believe him. I asked him for proof. Start showing us some receipts. He's like, so you want to see my porn videos? That's the first thing he said. White guy with the beard. Yeah, I've had a choice of words with him in the past. And I told him, you start providing some fucking proof, man, because I'm not buying your bullshit. He's like, what about the girl that I interviewed on the couch the other day? What about that? I'm like, dude, it's not hard to bring girls on your channel and have a discussion. And if you bang her, show some fucking proof. Just because you interviewed her don't mean shit. Show some proof. And he got mad at me and blocked me. And we never talked since. Because I told him to start providing proof of the shit he's saying. What do you think of John Anthony Lifestyles? He claims he fucked 256 women in a year and made one video about it. I'm not buying it. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if he slept with maybe 80, 70, 80 girls and stretched it to 200 to make it look more cooler. But it's like, dude, he has no proof of any of this. They have no proof of this stuff. Now, he may show you a picture or two, or he might have banged some girls. I'm not saying he hadn't. I'm not saying he hadn't, but honestly, I think most likely he probably just paid for a couple of chicks he banged, and he might have been doing that, like paying some of these pay-to-play chicks, which is cool, and that's what he's doing. I don't believe that he says that I didn't invest any money into these women. That's what he said on his video. I fucked 256 girls, and I didn't invest a single penny. I find that hard to believe. But he has a following. He's got 100,000 followers, and he's growing. And they just believe anything he says and don't even question anything he says. And I'm not doubting that he slept with some women. I think his body count is maybe 70, 75, 80. I think that sounds believable. To me, that sounds believable. But to say 256, and then the stupidest thing I heard out of his mouth was, well, I didn't invest any money in these girls. They know who I am. They know my channel, and they just come. They knew who I was, and he said it was his. He said that it was his clout that got him that pussy. The 256 girls in 1 year. So he was basically fucking a different girl every day, or almost every day. Almost by if you 365 days in the year, 265 girls. There was a 100-day off period, and I'm pretty sure it was not consistent. It was probably sprinkled in, maybe a 2-day here, 3-day there. So he's saying I slept with 256 girls. And then he says on a live stream, oh, well, I didn't pay for a single bit. I didn't pay for one penny. Really? Really? And I was listening on his live stream, and I had to type. I was like, you're so full of shit. You know goddamn well, okay, that you paid for it and you're lying. But it's cool because it's all entertainment at the end of the day. But I called him out on that shit. I said, you're a liar, dude. You did not sleep with 256 girls for free. Now, maybe he might have slept with maybe 30. He might have slept with maybe, a percentage of them for free. I'm not saying he didn't sleep. There are some girls that'll give up the pussy for just nothing. And that probably has happened. He probably might have had some encounters with a couple of girls. They saw his YouTube channel, thought he was on a come up. I'll sleep with him to keep him around. And he just brushed him off and didn't call him back. A one-night stand. Cool. But to say, oh, I slept with 256 girls and I didn't invest any money, let these clowns online have to pay for it. I'm like, what? No way. You didn't sleep with no 256 girls in 1 year and then not pay ever. Now, he's a fucking full of shit. Rick said I call bullshit on that. Yeah, it is bullshit, Rick. And I call his punk ass out on it too. The dude's so full of himself. It seems like to me like you can get on here, press record, say anything now. You don't even have to be true. Fuck it. Everything about your life is a fucking lie. And all you have to do is hit a record button, talk on YouTube, and get some idiots to believe it. Derek Jacks does it. All these motherfuckers do it. John Anthony Lifestyle, Kevin Ray Wilder, all those motherfuckers are idiots. What do you think of Fresh and Fit before? Well, okay. Myron Gaines was popular before Fresh and Fit. That's the truth. He was in the fitness community. Because I used to follow fitness community. I said, hey, that's the dude from the fitness community. I knew who he was, but he wasn't popular, but everybody knew who he was. He already had a following count. He had like 200,000 followers. He was like one of many fitness guys. So he already had clout. He already had a popularity. He didn't just wake up one morning and said, you know what? I'm going to be a Fresh and Fit YouTuber and I'm just going to record. No, he merged on to something different and he blew up. Okay, cool. All power to him. But a lot of people are misled. They think that he started off his YouTube video. Like his channel as Fresh and Fit was started there. No, it wasn't. He was in a fitness community. No, listen, I'm not saying Fresh and Fit don't get girls. They probably do. I just think some of the things they do are a little contradicting, but it's at the end of the day, it's all entertaining. So if they get girl, at the end of the Rick said, you got to understand people are going to use their platform to promote themselves before they promote anyone else. Exactly. So if let's say, for example, Marquise makes videos and then a girl says, hey, I've been watching your content. I like your content. And then he ends up banging her. You can make the argument that his channel helped, right? Because his channel promoted him, right? His channel promoted the scene. right? So the same thing. Like the guys on here use their channel to promote themselves as well. It's not just to get money from your subscribers, but if somebody recognizes you, you can use that to your advantage to get XYZ. There's some of my buddies who told me that there's some guys I know on YouTube that told me that they use their content to get girls. And that's cool. Like, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's whatever. You know? Like, I remember it was a buddy of mine. He was an old-time video maker. He doesn't make videos anymore. He used to make really good Texans videos way back in the day. I'm talking like 2014, 2013. He used to make football and fitness videos. And he had a little following. He was like around 20,000, you know? And we and him were real cool because we're from Houston. He was watching my videos. And he's like, "You're from Houston? So am I." We would talk. Then we chatted on Facebook. And I said, "Hey, man, you got a large following on here. Do you use your content to get bitches?" He's like, "Yeah, I slept with like 3 girls since I've had my channel." He's like, "I've had 3 bitches that recognize me and I fucked them." And I said, "Oh, okay, that's cool." So I guess it's a marketing strategy. Like, if you use okay, Kevin Samuels, the chick he was just with the night before, how you think she knew him? His channel, his content. So even if the girls hate your guts, one thing Marquise is right about. Even if the girls hate Fresh and Fit, they're still on his channel and he can still get pussy from them. And there's nothing wrong with that. John Anthony Lifestyle, same way. Is he using his channel to get girls in South America? Absolutely. You'd have to be a fool. I wouldn't even doubt it if he goes up to random chicks and says, he starts a conversation and then he says, "Oh, I'm this YouTuber and look at my following count." He shows his phone that shows 100,000 followers. So these girls think, "Oh shit, this dude's on a come up. He must got money. He must be popular. Oh shit, well, I'm gonna tag along with this dude." And then he uses probably his channel to bang some bitches. And I'm not saying he's wrong for that. I'm not hating on the dude. Like, cool. But I still think he's full of shit of the content he makes when he says, "I'm getting these girls with no money invested. I'm just getting them. Like, I got game, and all these women I'm sleeping with, I don't invest nothing. I don't give them a dime." Like, he said the chicks that were living with him, he don't give them no money. The bitches are living in his house. I said, I find it hard to believe that you're not giving them nothing. I don't think you're giving them the world. I don't think you're buying them cars or you're paying their, okay. I don't think you're buying their car, but I think you're paying their cell phone bill or, like something easy. You know what I'm saying? A cell phone bill, maybe some makeup or something, or giving them a little side money. Like, here's $300 allowance money. Don't spend it all in one place. I guarantee you he's doing something. It's hard to believe him when he sits there and says, "I slept with 256 women in 1 year and I didn't invest a single penny and I got game." I'm like, I watched that last show. Like, you're so full of shit. And I told him that too in the comments. He said, "Man, fuck you, Steven. Fuck you. I watch your content. You're so full of shit." He's like, "Fuck you. You're a liar and a condescending piece of shit." I just said, okay. I said, but I'm not the one saying I slept with all these girls, didn't invest any money. Hell, every chick I ever had to talk to, I had to put a little something in there. You know what I'm saying? I had to at least take them out somewhere to eat or something. Like, "I slept with 256 bitches. You're just jealous." That's what he told me on live stream. This dude was raging bad. He was like, "I know who you are, Rose. I know who you are, you piece of shit. Fuck you, fuck you." And he was like saying, he's like, "I did sleep with 256 girls. I did. You're just jealous." And I said, "Look, bro, I'm not saying you didn't sleep with any women. I never said that. All I'm saying is you paid for something on the front or the back end. It is cool. There's nothing wrong with that. And maybe there were a couple of chicks you slept with that you didn't pay for. Cool. But yeah, I just find it hard to believe 256 women and no money invested. Who the hell sells a story like that? Even the richest guys on the planet. These rich guys out here, movie stars, actors, basketball players, musicians, whatever, YouTube sensation. Even those guys are paying on the back end, front end or back end, they're paying. And they have no problem in it, but you're the only video maker that says, "I slept with 256 women in a year, and I didn't pay for any John Anthony lifestyles. Didn't pay for a single bit of that pussy, and you're just jealous. Yeah, right. Yeah, right, dude. Well, he's so fucking full of shit. You were paying in dollars, you were paying in pesos, motherfucker, but you were paying something. And it may have been cheap. He might have been frugal with his money, maybe a cheap bastard. Because I know a bunch of rich people that are cheap, and he might be one of those cheap bastards. He wasn't paying for her car, but he was paying her cell phone bill. I guarantee you, there's no way that he went to South America and was banging the hottest girls down there for free. I find it hard to believe. And that guy to this day will not show proof of none of that shit. When I have asked him several times to show the proof that you were fucking these bitches for free, I want to hear them say that you didn't give them any money. Oh, he said, I let them live with me. They lived in my house, man, but I didn't give them anything. Wow, really? Really? Damn. I mean, I've heard a lot of lies, but that's a really good one right there. I've never heard that one before. Now, I might have believed you if you said, okay, look, I fucked 256 bitches and about 70 of them I didn't have to pay for. Okay, that sounds believable. I'm not even going to debate that with you. I'll say, all right, cool. You probably had a threesome, banged a friend of a friend, whatever. Okay, that sounds believable. But he's a 256, the 265 girls, 265 girls rose and beat that motherfucker. I was like, well, let me put it like this. I'll set up a GoFundMe account, put some money in my thing, and then I'll go party with some strippers. We'll start from there. And I'll do the same thing you did, sir. And he's like, I fuck high quality value women. I'm like, oh, okay, man. All right. Sure you do, buddy. That guy is so full of himself. That's probably the most narcissistic motherfucker I've met in the dating coaching atmosphere, whatever you want to call it. That guy's narcissistic. He actually believes the bullshit he's selling. And here's the sad part about it. His content makers actually believe him. It's not hard. I'm telling you, bro, it's not hard to set up a channel, to say a bunch of bullshit, and to get people to believe you. Just like it's not hard to sell a fucking piece of shit car that says the car's run down, you buy it as is, no warranty, blah, blah, blah. Go to the dealership, pick it up. It's yours today. And then, oh, it runs. Don't worry about it. And you drive the motherfucker down the street, it breaks down. But the car's as is. Yeah. And Kevin's the same way. Kevin Ray Wilder, same piece of shit too. That guy doesn't provide any proof, no receipts. He said, provide some receipts of these girls you're getting. He says, man, I had a girl on the couch, Steven, and I interviewed her. You're just jealous. I was like, okay, then show me the picture of you banging her. Oh, you want to see my porno videos? I said, yeah, go ahead. Start sending some in my inbox so I can believe what bullshit you're saying. You got to start calling some of these guys out. You can tell a mile away they're lying. Now, maybe they're getting girls, but I can guarantee you they're doing it two ways. They're paying for the pussy, pay to play, which is probably the number one thing that all of us guys do in some way, shape, or form. And number two, they're using their YouTube channels to get pussy, and they're still paying for it, maybe at a discount, maybe at like 5 drinks or something, but they're still paying. On the front or the back end, they're paying for that shit. Now, I'm not buying it. I had to burp, excuse me. I went on this big-ass rant, which now brings me to my next point. That cop lady, I don't know her name. She ran off with one of the inmates that she was supposed to be transferring, and they pulled off one of the most bravest escapes ever. And now they're out of the country, from what I heard. And I hate to say this. You have to be a damn good manipulator to be in jail and to talk a cop out of bailing you out, much less a man talking a woman out of bailing him out and driving off with him. She gave her whole career up, her possible freedom, unless she moved out of the country. She's in a what they call it, extradition or whatever they call it, or expedited country that won't bring her back to the U.S.
I just don't understand why she would throw all that away from some guy that's going to be in prison for a very long time. In fact, I don't know how women allow themselves to be talked into situations like that. Like, I just don't get it. Name me a man or a male cop even that will bail a female out of jail and run off with her. Now, sometimes, you hear stories on like those bounty hunters where they're like the family's hiding her, or the boyfriend's hiding her. That may be the case, but not if she's already in jail, in prison, and he's a cop and he's supposed to transfer. You never hear about that, but you always hear about women jailers falling in love with inmates. Cookie, Ray, Tyrone, fucking, Chad, whatever. And they'll fuck these guys in prison, escape with them. Now, in the free world, I get it. You have a little more freedom. You're out, and you meet a guy that's kind of like a, in and out of jail kind of ordeal, and you're fucking him. That's one thing. But to bail him out and then drive off with him, risk your freedom and everything over him? Wow. Ladies, I don't know how you do it. I don't know if it's love. I don't know if it's his big dick. I don't know what the hell it is, but goddamn. It's just like you hear these stories all the time, and it's like, what? You're a cop, or you're a jailer, you got a career, I'm assuming. Not saying jailer's gonna be a career job, but I'm assuming it's a career. It seems like a nice career. Better than working at fucking McDonald's. And you run off with an inmate that you fell in love with in prison or in jail. Of all the choices she had, and she wasn't a bad-looking older woman either, she could have probably got a man around her age that probably worked in construction, or probably was a plumber, or maybe was a carpenter, maybe had another, maybe had his own company. And, he wasn't like a high value guy, but, he has a decent job, and 2 incomes make a household nowadays anyway. I just don't see why she would risk it, her freedom and all this in her life, and never having to talk to her family again, unless it was on a disposable phone in a non-expedited country. I don't see why she would risk all that for some guy, man, that's already serving a long prison sentence, or I don't know how long he was in jail for. I didn't read up on the story, but I'm watching that, and I'm just scratching my head like, what? And here I am on the streets. Not that I have been trying lately, but I'm like, damn, and I thought I had it bad. I'm like, damn, us dudes on the streets here have to, are having to bust our ass to fucking get chicks to even halfway notice us. And here goes this dude in prison getting bitches. Fucking weird, man. So, ladies, when you sit there and say, oh, you keep mentioning Tyrone, Pookie, Ray, and Chad a lot, that's what I'm talking about. I'm reverting right to this story. That's what I'm referring to. Is how is it that a guy in prison can get more bitches than me? I'm not saying that there aren't guys in prison that got more game than me. Maybe they have more game in the streets, but I'm like, damn. I have the advantages because at least I have access to my computer and phone and all these dating apps and stuff. And here goes this fucking dude in prison is pulling bitches like it ain't nothing. Even though he's in confinement and everything. Holy shit. He was actually able to manipulate and talk a woman into getting him out. Shit, I can't even get a bitch to pay for her half of the meal. And this motherfucker talked this girl into fucking risking her freedom, life. Her whole life changes the minute she runs off with this dude. And she was willing to do it. Wow. And here I am, busting my ass, and I'm like, what? This motherfucker here. And Rick says women are turned on by those type of men. I don't want to say all, that would be generalizing. But I'd say most. Most girls are into those kind of guys. Kind of weird. I did a social experiment the other day.
I was walking to my neighborhood, right? Now, mind you, I don't think I dressed the best way. I got like 6 collar shirts, 6 pairs of pants. I got a interview course outfit in here, got jerseys. I got maybe like 3 fitted caps, right? So, you know, I was walking down the street and I was getting my exercise on, right? And I walk alongside my lake. You know, we got a nice long lake. Looks like a great lake. It's huge, right? So it was really a mile and a half long. You can walk around it. It's 3 miles to walk along the whole lake, right? So here I am walking down the lake, right? And there's a whole bunch of hot chicks. In my neighborhood, it's mainly like Asian girls that are like Americanized. And then, of course, you do got a couple of white girls, a couple of Hispanic chicks, right? So that's like vast majority is Asian in my neighborhood. It's Asian and white American. And then you got Hispanics, some Hispanics and blacks, but they got to be on the upper class to live in this area, or upper class to live in the area, or like middle income, like a little higher than middle income, because the taxes out here are crazy. But anyways, check this out. So I'm walking down the street, right? And again, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have my reasons for despising hip hop. You know, I used to listen to a lot of rap music growing up. Now I'm getting a little older. I sort of developed a taste in other genres and, music choices. And I guess that's the thing with age, So I said, you know what? I'm going to do something real quick, see if this works. I'm going to dress the old way I used to dress. I used to dress kind of like hip hopish a little bit. So I wanted to see if there was a difference, right? Now, I said, fuck it. So I put on some J's, some old like not Air Forces. They were and ones, right? Which and ones are kind of like knockoffs of Jordans, but and ones, they're still basketball shoes. Okay. So I was wearing some and ones with some black Nike socks, right? I put on some basketball shorts. I shit you not. I wore a t-shirt and I slipped on one of these basketball jerseys, right, that I was wearing with a fitted cap. Now, you could say, well, that's not really like hip hopish, but a lot of cats dress like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, like the hip hopish people kind of dress like that, like with jerseys and everything. Sometimes people misconstrue that as like gang affiliation, gang color stuff, whatever. So I put that on. I'm walking down the street, right? I'm walking around the lake. And every afternoon, especially during the summer, all the girls are walking around the lake trying to get their exercise on, walking their dogs, jogging, whatever the case is. So I just wanted to see what the reaction would be, just to test the field, So I'm walking down there, and and I'm walking in the opposite direction because everybody likes to walk from the northern end of the neighborhood to the southern end, right? I did the opposite, so I'm meeting them face to face. I did this just to see what the experiment would be. So I'm walking and, some girls are passing me up. And one thing I noticed was that the gestures I were getting were more complimentary than when I just dressed normal, plain clothes. Meaning, if I walked out something like this, button up collar with some shoes, whatever, and some regular gym shorts, I wasn't getting those reactions. But when I looked a little bit more hip hopish, right, with the fitted cap and the jersey, I noticed I was getting more responses, which led me to believe, to each their own, that girls are kind of into that persona, like the hip hop look. Man, I'm not saying, and look, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I used to dress hip hopish, I used to believe it or not, I used to actually get more girls talking to me. But I that wasn't me, because a lot of dudes will try to pretend they're gangster or thuggish, or they'll try to dress like a certain way to market themselves to get girls. I didn't want to do that. I just like to dress in basketball clothes because I like playing basketball. I was, like going to Rockets games, shit like that. So I would walk down the street and I said, I'm going to kick it old school a little bit, rock the J's and stuff. And believe it or not, man, the girls are into that shit. Even if you're a guy and you're kind of like, you feel like I'm getting older, I'm getting played out, I don't want to do this anymore. I prefer to wear a suit and tie. Let me tell you something. The dudes in suit and ties, although they look really nice, and you would think politically wise, the political correct answer or the actual correct answer would be,
a man in a suit and tie looks handsome and you think girls would approach him, I see more the dudes dressing up in fucking football and basketball jerseys with shorts on and fucking tear ducts and fucking, fucking the low socks, high socks, low socks with the fucking J's on. And those guys are just getting girls left and right. I've seen this at Walmart where I work. I've seen this at a construction company where I work. And I noticed that shit. Like every chick that I see, their dude is dressed up in some like a street hoodlum. Like almost everyone. And I can guarantee your ass, whereas black women, there's Hispanic girls especially, hell, even the white girls are doing it. When it's with Chad, all them motherfuckers got the least common denominator. It's all basketball shorts with fucking jerseys on and high socks and J's. It never fails. And it's either Jordans or Forces or it's the Converse or it's the fucking K-Swiss. They weren't, which usually if it's Air Force, it's usually Jordans or it's Forces, the main two. But dudes be dressing up as street hoodlums in 2022 and that shit still works. I thought that shit was played out in the early 2000s. I'm like, man, there ain't nobody going back to that shit. That shit be working. Girls be liking that shit. Even though some of the guys probably don't even prefer to dress that way. They just do it just to get pussy. Which is cool, but it's like, damn. It's like you motherfuckers be wearing suits and ties and don't even get looked at, bro. I swear to God, I've seen this so many times. Like dudes be wearing suits and ties and girls don't even look their way. Now you might have a girlfriend already and then you dress like that. But the dudes that are getting the most play are the ones I just told you. The ones that are dressing up all thuggish and shit. All hip hop and street hoodlums. Because I always thought that was just a young thing, like your teenager thing. Dudes in their 20s, dudes in their 30s still dressing like that. You still got some of the old school guys in their 40s rocking what is that? The millennials rock the FUBU. That's really not a thing anymore, Rick. No, but I see the old school the guys wearing old plaid collar shirts. Some of them still do the high socks era or whatever. And it'd be working, bro. Like the more hip hop and thuggish you dress, real talk, the more the girls be coming around you. And maybe it's just immature girls, or maybe it's, I don't know, but it's just like, to me, like that's all the dudes I see that got chicks, like Walmart, construction, the restaurant industry, or people I just watch, customers I watch come in and out. Look at their boyfriends and look at they almost dress exactly alike. All sports related, but hip hop looking. All of them like street hoodlums. And the more gangster the guy looks, the more thuggish he looks, the more chicks he's got. You'll see a dude walking in the store with tattoos all over his face. I'm talking about tear ducts and everything. Ain't got nothing but women by him. The guys that look the most treacherous are the ones that got the most chicks by them. I'm real talk. Like I saw and this one chick that was in the store the other day, and her boyfriend, I think he was Puerto Rican. He had like long hair and he had it tied in the back. He had a Bulls jersey on, like a Scottie Pippen Bulls jersey on, a bunch of tattoos everywhere, right? And he had the short shorts on with the J's. It's like you see a mile away, but that should be working though, man. Like that shit, girls be liking that shit, man. And especially, I'm gonna keep 100 with you, especially black and Hispanic chicks. Like they love that shit. White girls, the only white girls that are gonna like that shit are the ones that are that have already dated out, or they're dating Chad, the Chad type of dudes that do that shit. Or preferably known as to the ones who act black, or they're the persona that, oh, you're acting black kind of ordeal. I'm just saying. I mean, tell me I'm wrong in the chat. Tell me I'm wrong in the chats, but that's what I be seeing. Like most of the dudes that get all the girls, that's how they dress. Ain't no suit and tie pulling bitches. Ain't nobody wearing suits and ties with getting girls. You wear the suit and tie
after you already had the girl. That's when you could wear a suit and tie. Oh, that's cool. He's on his way to an interview. I'm just saying. I've worn suits and ties before. I'm telling you, it doesn't work. If they're like, oh man, all you gotta do is wear a nice suit and tie, wear a $5,000 suit. Yeah, you're probably, work at a bank or something, you're a COO and you happen to get lucky. But try walking around the streets and with a suit and tie. Ain't no girl looking your way. They're gonna look at all the fucking basketball short wearing motherfuckers with J's on, with Jordans on, and fucking basketball attire or football attire. Anything, and the more hood they look, the more treacherous they look, the more the girls come around. Add about 10. Rick says add about 10 felonies to it too. It'll even bring them back. It'll even bring more girls in. Yeah. Oh yeah, a bitch like the one that the cop lady, clean background. Not even so much as a parking ticket. And the dude she ran off with has 20 felonies. And she threw her whole life away for this guy. Which kind of reminds me of a story once about this white girl that I used to know. Her barber, right, was a black guy. Nothing wrong with that, right? But he was like the hood ratchet type, Pookie, Ray Ray Tyrone. And he was a cool dude. He was cutting hair without a license. None of my business, but he knew how to cut hair. He's a good dude. And he used to bring his baby mama around. It was a white girl. And she didn't look like your typical white girl. She looked like a cheerleading type of white girl that dates nothing but chads. And I said, wait a minute, hold on. Something ain't right here. This ain't adding up. What is she? What the fuck is this? Is out of the ordinary here. So I remember, like, he went to jail and she was selling her pussy to get some money, because ain't no dude ain't gonna give no woman no money without getting some, It's usually well, most men usually like. Some guys you can finesse and get free money from them without it. But she was selling her pussy up. She was selling her pussy on the side to get money, right? She could have some money for her kids and stuff because her husband couldn't cut hair. Her baby dad could cut hair. He was in jail. He had a warrant, right? So he had to go serve his time. And I remember I used to call his phone. We called him Callie. I used to call his phone. I didn't know he was in jail. She answered. I said, where's Callie? He's in jail. Oh, shit, he's in jail. Holy shit. What the fuck? What did he do this time? Oh, he got warrant. I'm like, oh. So she just said, yeah, money's been tight and stuff, so I've been selling pussy to try to get some money. I said, well, good luck with that, have fun. She's like, you got like $30? I'm like, nope, I don't got nothing. I was trying to get a haircut. And anyway, so she said, you know what, man? I should have listened to my parents. And I said, what you mean you should listen to them? She said her parents, of course, didn't approve of it. And, of course, told her you're better off staying in California and not messing with this dude or whatever. She said she had a life before she met this guy, and she threw it all away to run off with him. And she's regretting it now. Now she has 5 kids. Now, this is my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Somebody might shut me up over this, but Rick said, I know where you're going with this, Steve. Yeah, you know where I'm going with this. It's not going to be easy for her to run back and try to date white guys again. You see what I'm saying? Why? Why you say that, Mr. Rose? Because white guys, for the most part, are not gonna participate in taking care of kids that are from another guy from another race. Now, I'm not saying, look, I'm just keeping it 100. This is being honest. She knew the choice she made. You see what I'm saying? That she knew if she was going to run back and say, well, I'm going to date white guys again. Oh, no. Nah, it ain't happening. Because they're going to say, like, man, hold on, wait a minute. You got 5 babies. The fuck? Who you been sleeping with? And I'm just saying the PG version of what I really want to say. But why? What the fuck? No white dude is going to get involved like that. You see what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. And I told her that. I said, you know how hard it's going to be for you to date white guys again? She said, yeah, because they're going to see the kids and they're like, hell no. And it is what it is. It's common sense. So she already knew she was fucked. You know, her parents barely even said for her to come back. And even they're angry. So what makes you think when she comes back, it's like, okay, I'm just going to forget this happened and I'm just going to start dating white dudes again. Oh, yeah, right. Good luck with that. As soon as they see them damn kids, they're going to be like, I'm going to call you back. And they ain't going to call her back. It is what it is. You know? So the point is that I just don't understand how some women, I don't even know if it's a victim thing or whatever, but how they could put themselves in situations like that cop lady did. Clean record, career, and she could have she was attractive enough that she could have dated a man her age and would have been willing to accept her. He could have been a plumber, a construction worker, or owned his own business, or hell, he could even been a manager at a grocery store. She wasn't bad looking either. I've seen the photos of her. I'm like, she can get a guy around her age, maybe a little older, maybe a little younger, somewhere in that threshold. She wasn't ugly. I'm like, so why in the fuck would you throw your life away over some jailbird dude that's in prison? He's not getting out of prison. And you're now going to have a warrant for you. And it's not worth it, man. And throw your career and shit over like that away. You know, I know guys do stupid shit for pussy. Now, I'm not questioning that. Some guys are like that. You know, but I've never heard of a male cop being swindled into having his girlfriend who's in prison drive elsewhere in the sunset. I've never heard of that. I've never seen men in those positions to risk a job like that. Now, maybe they, you know, again, maybe he had a girlfriend and he's hiding her or something like that. But to bail out of prison and throw your whole career away, nah. I just don't. Rick said that women tend to think emotional, Steven. A lot of these guys take advantage of that. You can catch anybody on an off day if you're good enough to manipulate. Yeah, that's true. I mean, humans in general are cutthroat. Humans in general are backstabbers. We all are. We're all cutthroat. We're all snake oil salesmen, which is why I don't blame Fresh and Fit and Kevin Samuels for what they do and guys like them. Because then it's John Anthony Loftus, all those guys. I don't really blame them because at the end of the day, it's all entertainment anyway. And it's just like, if you want to donate to their channel, you're more than welcome to. And if you don't want to, you don't have to. It's all entertainment. That's all it is. It's not really educational, but at the same time, you know, to get back to what you're saying, Rick, yeah, we all are snake oil salesmen. We all are swindlers in some way. Everybody finesses everybody. You know, women finesse men. Men can finesse women to a certain degree, even though I think women are better at it. You know, hell, you even got guys that swindle other guys too. You know, if they think you're vulnerable and they think they could take advantage of it, absolutely. And I'm pretty sure that women swindle other girls that they think are easy. You know, like Rick said, give us some examples of men who swindle men. Well, you know, you got websites or content makers who will say things and you don't question them, and then you donate. That's a form of swindling somebody. That's a form of, you know, baiting and switching, right? Or let's say, you know, you're friends with a guy and he's like, hey, man, you hang out with me, I'll get you all the chicks. And then turn out that was a lie. Because in essence, you got to get girls on your own. You know, guys swindle each other. You know, or let's say you got a guy that needs rides, or I need a ride here, man. Can you give me a ride? Or can you let me borrow some money, man? Let me borrow some money, man. Or can I borrow this? I'll return. It's like, and they never do anything for you. You know, there was a guy that used to live down my street. I knew his son, but the father, you know, always bumming rides off of me, man. Finally, after like the fifth time he asked me for a ride, he never gave me gas or anything. I was like, man, get the fuck out of here, dude. You never give me gas or nothing. And gas ain't cheap either. Shit. And he said, man, you know, I'm just asking for a ride down the street, man. I'm like, nah, man, you never give me gas money, bro. And you never do anything for me. You do have some guys that are like that, you know. So in a way, and some guys, they know who to take advantage of. So they know, oh, man, I'm gonna swindle this dude because I know he's gonna fall for it. What do I think about the cop lady running off with him? Well, I think obviously she made a wrong choice. Why would you run off with why would you throw your career away over a prison guy who's not getting out of prison for like what, 20 years? I think he still had 20 years on his sentence. Man, that's dumb as fuck. How are you gonna get a job? How's he gonna get a job? Because they're gonna trace right where you're from. Their best way is to move out of the country and to move to a non-extradited country. That's all they can do. I think she wasted her time and her energy. All right, get to the last part of this video. Will robots replace our jobs? Because I know Marquise was talking about, automation is going to replace our jobs. Remember, I was telling everybody about the worker shortage, the last two rants I made about this live stream. I said, man, we're in a world of trouble, which I still think we are. I said, you know, we've become lazy and arrogant and entitled, just like employers. I call employers out on the bullshit they do. I call employees on the bullshit they do. You know, otherwise our biggest problem is lack of communication. But I'm wondering, man, the scary thing is, Marquise brought up, and this is going to be scary times for us, is if automation eventually makes a lot of us jobless, man, in the future. Now, I know that's 20, 30 years out. So by then I'll be a bunch older, but I just wonder, what if it comes sooner? What if it's 10 years from now that robots are able to drive trucks? They're able to transport goods. There's all your truckers right there fired. You just have a robot do it. Or let's say, you have the self-scan and you got robots that are scanning your groceries, bagging it, and putting it in your vehicle. You don't need checkers. You don't need door greeters. You don't need any of that anymore. You know, what if you have a robot that stocks your groceries? You don't need stockers anymore. And you don't need managers to manage the team because there's going to be a bunch of robots anyway. So the only person you could hire is maybe a store manager that still runs the place and maybe a couple of mechanics that fixes the robots. Other than that, you don't need nothing else. And maybe you might keep 4 or 5 employees around for customer service. You know, that's going to be scary going into the future. I don't know if you guys feel that way, but that's how I feel going into the future. I feel like that's what could happen. Imagine how many people are going to be out of jobs. You're talking about, if you thought unemployment was bad now, just imagine when unemployment hits like 40, 50%, maybe even more. That's what scares me. And the Mavericks won 103-94. So Suns lead 2-1. Okay. And since that was on my stream, I just thought I'd say the score. Mavericks win. Series is 2-1. So we still got a series there. Go ahead and read the rest of the comment. Steve, you just take a week of vacation in Cartagena, Colombia, and come back and you'll give a review of it. Maybe I might have to do that. Oh, my bad. I already read that one. With the Me Too movement going on and women claiming rape so easy, no way in hell these guys are sleeping with women so easily. Women are more apparent. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I do think they are sleeping with women, but I don't think it's as many as they say, and I think they're still paying for it, which is nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with that. You ever seen Alex playing with fire? He claims to have 500 women and is a 3 out of 10. Wow. Same thing with John Anthony Lifestyle. Ugly ass 3 out of 10 claiming he's been with 1,500 women. He's paid escorts in Brazil. Yeah. I can't sleep with anything lower than a 5 out of 10. I'd rather not get laid. Well, I'm glad to see you got standards. Got to get it while it's getting good. Every man has that day, and God's point to you, it says, today you are the pimp. Think of these tactics like fishing, bro. Same tactics to catch a small fish to catch trophies, but you still have to learn how to catch fish. Exactly. Once you're able to catch fish, you throw away the guppies and keep the trophies. Kevin Wilder is a clown. He is. Read that one. I believe fresh because I follow his Instagram. John Anthony Lifestyles is paying rent for 3 escorts who use OnlyFans and seeking arrangements, claiming these are his girlfriends. They're all prostitutes. He's a liar and a fraud. Yeah, I agree. He is a liar. And then he tries to lie and says, I'm not. It said it is the charismatic energy is getting off the other tracks women. Really? You could be right. Happens all the time. Look at Baltimore City Jail where the inmates got 3 officers pregnant. Damn. You got more responsive because it shows that you had style. You can't go out looking like a plain dude. Women think you're boring then. True. My girlfriend just cheated on me. I'm numb right now. Man, I'm sorry about that, bro. Get yourself a new one. Yeah, I know Alex playing with fire. Another scammer claiming 500 body count. Yeah. Yeah, I think they're all scammers, dude. I mean, Fresh and Fit might be getting girls, though. They actually seem like the more legit ones, the less of two evils. But yeah, John Anthony Lifestyles is a liar. He says, then he says, oh, well, those 3 OnlyFans chicks, they're all my girlfriends, and I'm just paying the rent, but it's not really that much. It's like $1,500. I'm like, but you just said in another video you smashed 256 girls and you didn't pay for anything. So why would you pay for 3 OnlyFans chicks? That don't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And I'm not doubting that he's not sleeping with those girls. He probably is. But he needs to stop saying he's not paying for them. He needs to stop saying it. But until his fans call him out on his bullshit, he's going to keep lying. But if I was on the live stream and he's like, Steven, I slept with 256 girls and I didn't pay a single penny. You're just jealous. I'm like, you're a lying sack of shit. Flat out. If I was on that man's live stream, I typed in the comments section, I was talking shit to him about Rick said, when was it? About a year ago. No, it was when he dropped the video, the 256 chicks. That was like 3 months ago. The live stream, I was talking shit to him a year before that. And when I was talking shit to him on the 256 chicks, he started deleting all my comments. And then he went to my channel and started talking shit to me. And I said, dude, bro, you're lying to people. He said, no, you're just jealous. You're just jealous. You're just jealous. I said, no, I'm not jealous of the women you're banging, dude. I said, I just know you're full of shit when you're saying you're not paying for anything. He's like, you don't know, you're not there. I'm like, okay, keep saying that. He's like, you're just jealous. I'm like, it's like my friend who told me he was banging all those girls after 3 months of hearing that shit. He's like, man, my body count's now 75 now, Rose. He's like, I'm in the military. He was in the Coast Guard. And, he got all egocentric being in the Coast Guard. Okay, cool. And he kept telling me, he was stationed in Cape May in Jersey before Obama no, he was in a camp. Yeah, he was in a Loran station in Cape May, New Jersey. And he's like, man, I'm banging all these women, man. All these women are just coming up to me, man. They like my uniform. I'm like, all right, that's cool. And I was sitting on the phone listening to him. And he's like, man, I'm dead serious, man. Let me show you some pictures. And he showed me some pictures of some chicks. But he was never with them. Maybe a couple of them. But it didn't look right. Some didn't add up. And that's like John Anthony Lifestyles right there. He's like my homeboy that did that shit. And then when you finally call him out and you're like, all right, dude, gig's up. It's time to start showing some receipts to all this shit. Because right now I'm not believing you. Then that's when they start getting mad. Why you in my business and stuff like that? You're just jealous. It's like, nah, dude, I'm not jealous. I just want you to prove what you're saying you're doing. I'll shut up about it. You know, I highly doubt he slept with 1,500 women, Rick. I doubt it. He's full of it. Now, if he probably told me like maybe 70 or 80 women, I probably would believe him. Any more than that, he's got to prove it. He's got to prove some of that shit, man. None of these guys can never prove it, man. And that's what we're these are the guys that are on YouTube now. A bunch of just hot air and no all bark and no bite, no proof. A lot of talk with these guys. Kevin Ray Waller, the same thing. He gets a woman that sits on his couch and he said, "Look at my body count, man, my body count." I'm like, then show us the proof. Show us the proof of these women you're getting. Like, I just don't understand why you can't show proof. There's no proof. Exactly. They're I wouldn't even call them a pickup artist. I don't know what to call them. I call them a scam and a fraud. I just think, really tell you the truth, this is what it is. I think there's a bunch of guys that pay for pussy, which is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what most guys have to do anyway. I just think they're a bunch of average guys that pay for pussy and promote their channel like they're pulling them without doing it. That's all it is. It's a bait and switch. They're telling you, I'm getting all these chicks and I'm not investing any money into it. Yeah, okay, sure. But in reality, when the camera's off, they're paying for it. And they're investing. And that's cool. In fact, I wish they would just come out and say, like, yeah, man, look, I paid for this, I paid for that. If you want to come out, I'll show you the best places. You know, to me, it sounds like that would be more organic. And say, okay, this is, you know, this to me sounds like a strategy. Like, why have to say there's all this extra bullshit for? You know, John Anthony lost. I was like, you're just jealous. I'm like, okay, all right. I'm like, 256 women, huh? I'm like, let me see some photos and prove that shit. If you slept with 256 girls and you're telling me you didn't pay, I got to see that proof, man. That's not your word of mouth. Your live stream will mean shit to me. I'll ask him, simple question: provide the proof, and I'll shut up about it. I'll never mention it again. And to this day, he refuses to. And then every now and then he'll mention me or mention other YouTubers. He'll say, they're just jealous. They're just jealous. Like, they're just mad. They're just mad. I'm like, okay, sure. Say what you want. But anyways, I hope the robots don't take over. Because we're going to be fucked. Our future's not looking good as humans. Real talk. Our future's not looking good if automated. I mean, because think about it. If I get a heart attack or my back goes out like it did on the 25th, and I'm screaming in pain because it hurts like hell. For anybody's ever throwing their back out, you know what I'm talking about? You throw your back out, you're on the ground screaming in pain because it hurts like hell. And then you wait for the ambulance to come get you. You need people to drive that fucking truck. And let's say 2 robots come to pick me up, put me on the gurney, and trying to wheel my ass to the hospital. I got to see a doctor. You know, I want to get some treatment done for my back, get some meds, you know, get the right prescription. And I want to be able to, you know, I want to be able to, what's the word I want to use? I want to be able to, you know, see a live person. And imagine having to talk to a robot about, you know, your back or whatever and having to get prescribed. To me, that's going to be really weird, man. I don't know if I'm ready for that, man. I don't want to talk to a live person, not a robot. I think in the future, I think that's what it looks like we may go to. And what does this say about, what about, you know, our future? Let's say, you know, unemployment. A lot of people, that don't have a trade or don't have a skill to run a business or whatever, they're going to lose. And you're talking about a large percentage of people still. Like, let's say 60% of the workforce is comprised of unskilled labor, like meaning like they just know the manuals, like how to use a forklift or how to dig trenches, how to build, houses or whatever, work at grocery stores at a bank. And all those jobs are up by robots. It's going to be scary, even in medical field, nurses, doctors, shit like that. Imagine you go into the emergency room and it's just a bunch of robots there. That's scary. What if you got to go in operation? What if you need a surgery, open heart surgery or something serious? You never know, man. I didn't ask for my back to go out. My back went completely out after I was lifting in the truck. And when my back went out, that was it. I was on the ground and I was pounding my fist in the ground. It hurt so bad, and had to I grabbed my phone out of my pocket, called 911, and I said, "Come pick my ass up." They're like, "What happened?" I said, "My back went out." They're like, "Can you move?" I'm like, "Not at all." And I said, "It hurts like hell." And the pain was so bad, I was just kept pounding the ground real bad. They kept telling me, "Don't move, don't move." I said, "Okay," stayed on the ground. And then, so imagine, you never know when you're not gonna, you never know when some shit like that's gonna happen to you, man. A heart attack, or let's say a brain aneurysm, or like any medical condition that just is that's random, a random event. You want the best. You want healthcare, man. You want some motherfuckers to come get you. Imagine if we get to a time where there's no doctor, no nurse, none but robots, and all those robots, you have to depend on the community. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be a scary case of iRobot. Rick says, "Yeah, it's gonna be an iRobot with Will Smith, but except Will Smith like that to Chris Rock." I got what's called acute lower back pain. It's from not lifting properly, not bending the knees, and it's in your lower back. Now, basketball players get it too. Devin Booker, Zach LaVine had it. Karasiko had it. He's got to get surgery on his. Giannis Antetokounmpo has had it. Ben Simmons is actually getting surgery for acute lower back pain. So athletes get it too because they have to hit the weights, and when they're squatting, it puts pressure on the lower back. So you develop acute back pain, and then it turns into chronic back pain if you let it get worse. So acute back pain can last up to 4 weeks. I'm on about to hit the week 3. And I've been taking nothing but muscle relaxers. And them boys work. You pop a muscle relaxer, you pop a steroid, shit, you were good to go. But what I'm saying is you never know when something happens to you, your health. You need to know you're being taken care of. You may break a leg, break an arm, a wrist or something. You got to go to the emergency room. And we don't have workers there because of the shortage and people feel they're getting underpaid, or your doctor's dancing on TikTok or something. So you're like, fuck, man, what do I do? So if we move to robots and robots come in and take over like all those jobs, man, it's going to be scary. There's going to be a lot of people on the unemployment line. It's going to be scary, man, thinking about the future. Unless everybody learns a skill. Everybody develops a skill. But then that'll still be 20, 30 years out. I mean, again, it may not even be in our lifetime. We may not even have to worry about that shit when robots take over. It could be fucking 50 years from now, 60, 70 years. We'll be long gone. Or it could be 10. So I'm going to be honest with you, the way this country's going, I wouldn't doubt it in 10 years if you see some major changes in the job market. I think that's really when you're going to see like automation really in full effect. That's really when it's going to come down to in full effect in the next 10 years. And that's the part that I'm so curious about when people say, why do you keep talking about the economy? Why do you care? People will comment and say, Why do you care? Why do you care if the economy falls? Why do you care? Because they're not thinking about it now. That's why. I'm like, why wait for the destruction to happen? Let's prevent it. You know? I'm gonna go ahead and read the comments. He put, that's cap. I don't believe he had 500 body count. I don't either. Yeah, I hope Optimus Prime doesn't turn into a deception. Yeah. Have you seen Kim Exposed video? Oh, I watch those all the time. He has too many of them. John Anthony Lifestyle is buying subscribers too. He has 131K subs, but only gets 15 comments per video. And his subscribers go up 1,000 a day. Yeah, I kind of have a feeling he was full of shit. I was at the hospital a week ago. They had 56 people waiting to get care. I was one of the lucky ones. Just needed an x-ray. Doctors are quitting. It's bad. Yeah, it's scary, man. John Anthony Lifestyle said gained 5K subs a day also. He's buying subs. I believe it. People are saying universal income. Oh, shit. But I don't know if that will work. He's not even doing 1 million views a month. Damn. So, yeah, these YouTubers are all full of shit, man. It's just the question is, it's when you build up a following count, man, they never question those. It's just a bunch of idiots that are following them, and they can just say whatever, you know, and they just believe them. You don't dare to question them because they have such a large sub count. You just assume they're right. Yeah, John Anthony Lifestyles was talking shit about you on his stream about 6 months ago. Oh yeah, I know. I saw that stream, bro. He was saying I was some punk 22-year-old kid or something like that can't get girls and is just jealous and is dick policing other men. I said, look, dude, listen. I had already explained 1,000 times about my sex life. Like I don't know how much more I need to explain, you know. And you know, which I've openly admitted to thousands of times. And then, you know, he says, "Oh, well, you know, I slept with 256 girls and that's why these guys on here are jealous of me." Like he literally said he slept with 256 women and no man can beat that. That's what he said. Like, this is how arrogant he is. He's like, I slept with more women in 1 year than Magic Johnson did. And I was like, dude, no way. Because Magic Johnson is openly admitted to sleeping with over thousands of women in the 5,000-6,000 range. That's how the fuck do you think a motherfucker got AIDS? You know, or HIV. I think he has HIV. It's not full-blown AIDS, it's HIV. But Magic Johnson had a documentary where he said he had a girlfriend in every city. Every major city had a girlfriend. And so he was trying to say that he slept with more women than Magic Johnson did. And I just said, no. I don't believe. I'm not buying that. There's no way that he slept with more women than he did. And then he's trying to say he slept with the most women ever. I said, no, sir. Not even close. Even if let's say for the sake of argument, he did sleep with 256 women, that's still a blemish on what other men have done. Then he turned around and said, well, I slept with over 1,500. That's most of 99% of the world's population. No, dude, no. Because first of all, there's like 8 billion people on Earth, 9 billion people on Earth, or somewhere around there. And even if you did sleep with 1,500, but I know he's full of shit. But let's just say for sake of argument, he's correct. So okay, so he slept with 1,500 women. This idiot says, I slept with more women than 99% of the world's population of men. I said, no, sir. That you have 8-9 billion men or people on Earth. So there's no way that's a small sample size of women he slept with. The 1,500 is a small dot on the scale of, if you do the ratio, there's no way. There's no way he slept with more women than any man known to kind. He's sitting there saying, I slept with 256 girls in 1 year. No man can break that record. Well, first of all, you didn't sleep with 256 women, and even for the sake of argument, I don't think you did it in 1 year. I just think the dude's full of shit. But even for the sake of argument, athletes have slept with way more than that. I mean, there are documentaries where there's guy like Wilt Chamberlain, dude, he had like 10, his body count was like 8, 9,000. Yeah. Bill Russell slept with like 10,000 chicks, he said. And I can believe that because for him, his age, he might have started early and then went up to his 50s, 60s. It's highly possible he could have done it. Maybe. It's highly possible he could have done it. And then John Ancelotti, oh, they're lying. That's not true. I'm like, dude, those are professional athletes that are on the top, sir. The dude's an idiot, that. And again, like, I know he mentioned me 6 months ago, Rick. That was that one. Okay, I kind of feeling that was that one live stream. The only thing he could say about me is just that I slept with more bitches than you. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard of. Like that's all he says. He just says, Roses is jealous. I slept with more women than him. He's mad. I'm like, he's big mad at me. I'm like, no, I'm not, dude. I could care less who you slept with. I think you're over exaggerating your numbers. Most guys do that anyway. Oh, I've even used to do that. And most of the girls you're getting, you're paying for on the front or the back end. And there's nothing wrong with that either. There's nothing wrong with that. Because most men don't even have game anyway. That's why we have to pay for it. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. Not hating or anything. John Anthony's entire channel is a fraud setup to try to scam Indian incels out of their money. He was charged with sexual assault and kidnapping in Las Vegas. Are you serious? That must explain why he's hiding in an expedited country. YouTubers exploited kids and subbed them, basically. Yeah. But I believe he got HIV too. Her Bon Jovi slept with a lot of women. Oh, shit. I believe it. It said, didn't Wilt Chamberlain sleep with 20,000 women? That's what I heard. The most YouTubers are mainly kids that are subscribers to these YouTubers, pretty much. Yeah, and the thing was, QB Willie was being real nice to those guys because he promised the Wilder guy that he wasn't going to troll. But you could tell he wanted to call him out on it. And I was just like, it ain't even no point. This is a bunch of these ego guys rubbing heads on YouTube. I don't know who's dumber, those guys or the followers that actually believe it. I remember John Anthony Lifestyles. He told me one time on one live stream, I was commenting on one of his streams, and he said, well, you can come down here to Columbia, and you can come down here to Columbia. I'll show you places to go to. I said, okay. I said, I'll get my passport and we'll go down there. And then he said most likely one of the chicks you hook up with is probably one of many I slept with. I said, okay. I said, I'll go to another area then. He said, oh, well, I slept with girls over there too. Like he had an answer for everything, And I said, so how many women you slept with? He said, over 1,500. I said, nah, I don't buy that. I don't believe you. I think you're full of shit. I told him that too. I said, I think you slept with 70 or 80 women. I think that sounds more believable. But the 1,500, that don't sound right. That don't even sound right. And then he said, what, jealous? I said, no, I'm not jealous. I'm just saying that I just don't buy it. I don't buy your 1,500 count. I think you probably slept with 70 or 80 women. That sounds to me that sounds more believable, And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he might have slept with 100, or maybe he might have slept with 1,500. But when he says he's not paying for anything, like that. I think that's the part of the video that just irks me a lot. Is when he says, I didn't invest a single dime in none of these bitches. I'm like, really? Huh. So 1,500 women, huh? You slept with all these women and you didn't invest nothing, not a dime. And he's like, it's not true. If they're attracted to you, they'll just let you hit it. You know, it's like one guy called in on Mr. Lucario's show, and he goes, all you have to do is just hit the gym, and if you get your money up and hit the gym, you don't have to go up to women anymore. They'll just come up to you and they'll knock on your door. And then I remember when Mr. Lucario played that song. Let me go ahead and play it real quick. And this is, I'm not gonna lie, I'll laugh my ass off. I like Mr. Lucario, man. I'm sub to him. He's a good dude. He's funny as hell. Here's the one. Hold on. I think it's this one. Hold on. Okay, it's this one. Look, listen. That's what I want to play whenever like I hear these idiots talking like that. I just want to play that beat real quick just so they can hear it. They say it one more time. They say it one more time. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, you have somebody that's live right now. Huh. No shit. Let me see if that fucker's live right now. I don't believe it, but let me see. See if he's live right now. No, he's not. Scared me there for a second. Thought John Anthony was watching and decided to live stream about me. Then he tells me, oh, for $1,000 a free consultation. I was like, nah, man, I'm not paying you $1,000 for nothing. And people fall for this shit, bro. Like, you know who's another scammer? Oh, that idiot, Darius. That's another one. Another fucking idiot. In the I don't even think he's Manosphere. I just think he's just part of the Red Pill community, right? But Darius, wow. I mean, he has a big sub count. That guy knows how to lie. He would make a great car salesman. I told him that one time. Me and him hate each other. Like, we don't hate each other, but we're just like whatever. But 2-3 years ago, we hated each other. He couldn't stand me. I couldn't stand him. And he says, send me money and I'll give you a free consultation on email how to get girls. I was like, okay. I never paid for it, but other guys were paying for this guy. Like, actually, he's like a one-on-one session. And I'm going to teach you the game. You know? And so Darius gets on these live streams and he starts talking shit about, you know, women and stuff like that. Whatever, fine. Okay. It's kind of like the same thing I hear from other video makers, like the talking points. And he's like, all you got to do, Darius says, all you got to do, man, is when you land your dream job, they'll just come up to you and you don't even never have to go up to them again. I'm like, really? Really? So you're telling me I land my dream job and I get enough money. That's all I need. I don't need nothing else. I don't need no game or no nothing. They'll just come up to you, right? That's right, Darius. Just like that. Let's play it again. See? The dude's an idiot. Because why I say that? Because how can you explain a bunch of broke dudes named Pookie, Ray Ray, and Tyrone fucking chicks in the hood? And you hear this shit all the time. And I've seen it, by the way. They ain't got no money. And if they do, it's selling dope here and there, nickel and diamond. They ain't got no money. They ain't got a car. And bitches be fucking them. Same with Chads, the same with in the Hispanic community too, to a degree. Well, yeah, to a degree, yes. They ain't got no fucking money.
And they be pulling bitches left and right. So that's how that. And he just says, well, if you just get your dream job and your money, they'll just come up to you. Like they actually will say, if you would just get all you got to do is just land your dream job. That's it, Rose. And that's it. That's all you have to do. I'm like, really? Because there's a bunch of broke guys I know around getting girls. If that's the case, where's their dream job at? It's. Then he said, all right, man. You just give me $100 and I'll tell you how to get the girls. I was like, no, I'm not paying you nothing. He's like, well, why you sub to my channel then? I said, well, because I just like listening to the bullshit that comes out of your mouth. Darius buys subs. Yes, he does, Rick. He buys subs. He's at 200,000 followers. There's no way he got that high in less than a year. No way. I'm not buying it. He bought his subs. He bought and paid for his subs. And he hustled. He's just a hustler, man. He just hustles he hustles guys that can't get girls. Now I can't get girls to save my life either. But guess what? I ain't paying that motherfucker. I'd rather just go. I mean, honestly, if I'm gonna seek advice, I'd rather seek advice from these non-popular YouTubers. And to me, it seems like they have more logical sense of thinking. These idiots that got 100,000 to 300,000 followers are all idiots. They all are. They're just good at selling. I mean, it doesn't take rocket science to get a bunch of people to believe you. You just hit the button and hit record, and then most people just follow whatever you say. They just assume you're right. Get your money and game up. Well, I mean, it helps. If you get your money and you hit the gym, yeah, that does help, but it's not the end all be all. I seen fat ogre looking motherfucker dudes that weigh 250, 275 and get chicks. I seen broke Tyrone getting chicks. That completely contradicts a lot of shit they say. They say, oh, you just get your money up, man. If you got your money up, you're good. You get any girl you want. You don't have to go to girls anymore. I'm like, really? Because there's a bunch of rich dudes I see get turned down too. I'm talking about dudes from Wall Street with suits and ties on getting turned down by basketball gym motherfuckers right down the street right here. Facts. I'm telling you, Rick said a lot of guys are mainly talking about those impossible chicks to get, like OnlyFans or Instagram models or the chicks that are very popular. Those are the girls that they're really gearing towards. Yeah, it's the girls that you can't have. So then you got to get your money up in game and all that up to get the chicks to the higher end, the really good looking ones. But honestly, I'm just an average guy, so I'll fuck an average girl. And I have no problem in that. Even if she's a 4 or maybe even a 3, I'll fuck her. If I'm attracted to her, I'll fuck her if there's some physical features. Just because you're a 3 or a 2, by the way, doesn't mean you're an ugly person, by the way. Because you can dress and alter yourself and get a higher score. Like I told you, if I look like a bum, I could be like a 3, looking like a bum. Dress like a bum and look like a 2 or 3, right? But let's say I like I told you I did with the whole hip hop look. I'm probably 6, maybe a 6.5. Okay. And I was getting chicks that were like smiling and looking at me and stuff. And I was like, damn, all this over a basketball jersey. Holy shit. Maybe I need to start dressing like the old way. Just get pussy, And, Rick said the problem is a lot of men don't really uplift each other. It's the popular YouTuber guys or it seems like they're saying if you don't make $100,000 a year, you're nothing. Really, such you, the $100,000 ain't shit anyway. What they mean is a 6-figure salary, but you would have to probably make maybe like $200K or $300K a year, like in a very expensive area to live comfortably, to live like decent. In Texas, you can get away with making $100,000 a year, 90K, 80K. Maybe now you used to get away with making 50K a year in Texas. Now it's gone up a little. You probably have to make probably about 80, 70 or 80. You can live comfortably. No kids, no wife, one deep. 70K, you could do it if you're frugal. 70, 80K.
But if you have a family, kids, and all that, yeah, you probably got to push 6 figures. You got to make probably about 100, or you and your wife got to have two incomes to make it 100 or more. I mean, to me, that's the strategy. If you're single with no kids, yeah, you can make it on 60, 70K. But if you got kids and a wife, unless you have a good job that pays 100K, you and your wife will probably both have to be working. That's probably, to me, would be, the best way to put it. Unless you live in a really low income area, like let's say in Houston, you'd have to live in like Quail Valley. Your taxes about a 3-bedroom, 1-story here in Quail Valley, which is right down the road where my parents live. That's about $3,500 a year in taxes. So you'd have to make like $200 or $300 a month and save it every month to be able to pay your taxes. Okay. And if you're in Lakes of Brightwater, where I'm at, houses out here, you're probably paying between, if you're retired, which is 66 and above, if you're on retirement, you pay like $3,000 because you pay a real low rate. But if you're not retired, you're probably going to pay between $7,000 and $9,000 in taxes a year, easily. The house we're in right now, about 6, little over 6. But my people's house, about 3,500. So it all depends on where you live and the property value. If you live in a nice community, big houses and stuff, you got to pay a lot more. Some neighborhoods, they're paying like 10K in taxes. I'm like, God damn, on property tax. I'm like, holy shit. That could be expensive, man. And think about it, you're paying $10,000 a year just to stay in your house. And that's assuming your house is already paid off. It can get expensive, man. Like I said, Quail Valley's cheap, $3,500. I think it's like $3,300 a year. Yeah. And if you do any upgrades to your house and you got to report it, of course, then it raises the property value, which also raises your property tax. So you can sell the house and make more money, but you're also going to pay a higher tax on it. Have you ever seen a video of drunk John Anthony grinding on a drunk homeless man? I didn't see that. Then he counts that dude in his fake leg. Grinding on a homeless man. That's just funny, bro. There's at 400K now. He is. He's buying subs. They're just hustlers, bro. In Central Florida, you can live a decent life in 50K if you're single with no kids. That ain't bad. You're paying $6K a year in property tax. That's half of my rent for apartment. Yeah, but our house is paid off. Both houses are paid off. This one and the one in Quail Valley. The one in Quail Valley is worth about $175. This one, 2-story, 3.5 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. You're looking at about, I think our house is worth probably about $375, maybe $380, somewhere around there. When we first got it, it was only worth like $190, so it wasn't too bad. It's over the years, it's gone up and up and up and up and up. It doesn't even pay to own a home if you're paying property taxes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the dating coach thing, they're more like hookup artists, but really, I don't even want to call it that. I think they're more like pay-to-play artists. And there's nothing wrong with that if they're paying for sex. You know, there ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm not hating on it. But I would like them to at least admit it and say, okay, look, man, I do pay for pussy. Some of the girls I get for free, some I have to pay for. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to admit, bro. Ain't not a big deal. I got to go in on Monday and get my spinal cord injected. That ought to be interesting. Yep. Because the muscle over my tailbone, it keeps twitching, and I got to take an injection, inject it, get them to put some Teradol in there, and then stop the muscle from having muscle spasms and tightness, and relax the muscle. Nothing is worse than when your muscle tightens up in your back. Shit hurts. Nah, all those wards are not really getting better. Third ward is all ghetto. Fourth ward's the same way. The greater third ward is off of 45 in Wayside. Second ward is off of Polk Street and 59. You exit Polk Street. On the left-hand side, you're going to have the George R. Brown Convention Center, the Toyota Center where the Rockets play, and Minute Maid Park where the Astros play. On the right side of it, you go further down about 5 blocks. So you're not turning into those arenas. You're turning the opposite direction. That's all second ward out there. And it's a bad area. It's a rough area, man. All those wards out there are all ghetto and shit, man. All ghetto hood ratchet shit, man. You don't want to be caught driving around those areas, man. You get robbed. They think you got money. Motherfuckers will rob you out there. That's why I don't drive in those areas. Even when I'm running out of gas, I don't even stop there. I just keep going. You know? And the craziest thing about it is if the Hispanics and the blacks, they all separate like oil and water. Like you drive on 59, one side's all black, one side's all Hispanic. And mainly the Hispanic side is all a bunch of like day laborers and stuff like that. Of course, you're gonna have like some like third generation Hispanic Americans there and stuff, but most of them are just like day laborers and stuff like that. Stay on one side, the blacks stay on the other. You got like Cross Timbers, Lewis West Little York. You got what else is out there? Cavalcade. You got what are the areas out there? I mean, you got a whole bunch of areas out there, and one side of it's all Hispanic, one side's all black. The Hispanics are on the left side, the blacks are on the right side, and they don't bother each other. It is what it is, you know. You know. I mean, nobody really fucks with each other. It's a bunch of like hoodlums, you know, that will cross over gang related bullshit. You know, a bunch of knuckleheads out there that you know the crime and everything like that. But the normal average day citizens, they're cool. You know, they have a gate surrounding their property and shit like that. Post a sign, keep out. You know. What side's more dangerous? Oh, they both. I mean, it just depends on where which part you go to, but it can get pretty bad. You know, it's just the gangs. Really, that's the issue. It's not even really just the citizens. Most of them are cool as shit. The regular average Joes that go to work, come home, that's it. It's just the gang members that are the ones that make it unsafe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so you have to be real careful, you know, where you go. Like you got Greens Point, shit. They don't want to go in that area. That area is rough as shit. And that's an all black sector too. And you don't want to go in that sector, man. That's very dangerous, bro. Like they got the Greens Point Mall, they call it Guns Point. Type in Guns Point, man. They throw jokes around that shit. Like you could be coming out of the mall, and motherfuckers are waiting to rob your ass when you come out of the mall. You know? That's a very dangerous part to be in is Greens Point. Very dangerous. And then of course, if you want to go to like other parts, Mission Bend, that's on the southwest side. You take 6 all the way, like you're going to Katy, and all that area out there is like you got what did I just say? It was West Airport. You got West Belford, Bel Air, Beach Nut. You got the toll road that runs through there. All those different intersections, and they got a bunch of rough areas out there, man. But they're a lot better than living in the north side. I'd rather live in the southwest side, or I'd rather live in like um, or the north west side towards Katy, Seco Ranch. Now those are uppity areas. You go towards Seco Ranch, Mason, Fry Road. Uh, um, you got the 99 Tollway area over there by Katy High School. Now that area is a nice area. Very expensive to live in, but Seco Ranch is an uppity area. Seco Ranch is a foreign and white and some black that are from upper middle income areas. But man, it's a very good area to live in. A little expensive, new territory, good area to live in. If you're in, if now I would rather live over there than live in like areas like the north side or live out towards Channelview, where they have the ship channel at. You got a bunch of crime out there too, man. There's rough areas out there. And again, it's mainly gang related shit. It's not like normal citizens like causing mischief. It's just a bunch of gang bullshit, man. A bunch of sets and all that bullshit. You know? And so like I said, those areas are pretty bad. You go to MLK, Martin Luther King, you go to one of the other streets over there, Cullen, South Park. You know, guys are familiar with South Park. That area is a bad area too. So you just try to stay out of those areas, man. Because I'm from Harlem Clark, and you had Madison. That's where Vince Young went to school and graduated. You had Alameda Elementary, Dallin. All those areas are bad areas to be in, man. I wouldn't recommend living out there. Bunch of crime, bunch of bullshit, man. I'm glad I moved out that shit. Or we moved out of there. And over here in Missouri City, most of it's actually Missouri City is a good area to live in. Bunch of like uppity people that live out here. It's just lately, I'm gonna tell you this. Lately, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. All right. Lately, the riffraff has been coming in. Okay. So when they close down, let's say, when they closed down downtown Houston, and they started tearing down all the homeless shelters out there, like all the riffraff areas, and they started building apartment complexes and duplexes and all that. Guess what they did with all the riffraff out there? They pushed them right out of Houston. And what do you think happened? They come into all the surrounding counties. They're coming to Fort Bend. They're coming to Harris. Well, not Harris. Fort Bend, Brazoria, Wharton. They're coming out to Katy. They're coming out to all these areas. And, bro, nobody wants them. Nobody wants Section 8 here. Nobody wants any riffraff here, bro. Nobody wants them here. You know why? You know why? Because it lowers the property value and they bring the crime rate here.
Why do you think, and this is common sense, why do you think Missouri City constantly votes down Section 8? And then, of course, a bunch of people say, well, Mr. Rose, you're being heartless because everybody is being racist or whatever, right? Missouri City. Mind you, Missouri City is diverse. There's all different cultures and races that live here. Okay? So the idea that it's racist to vote down Section 8 is asinizing. The reason why we vote it down every time it hits the voting, you know why? Because we don't want that trash over here. And you can ask anybody from out here. Don't matter if it's Squaw Valley. It don't matter what area you're in. Lake Olympia, Riverstone, Sugarland, Meadow Creek. We don't want that shit here, bruh. We don't want Section 8 here. They don't want Metro. No government Section 8 housing here. Because we already know what's going to come with it. They're going to bring the trash over here and then the crime next. And it's not worth having that here. Real talk. Rick said that's big facts, Steve. Yes, Rick, it is big facts. Nobody wants that shit here, bruh. We like it nice the way it is. No crime rate, no nothing, bro. We're good. Oh, man, I tell you what. I can't believe I managed to stay up till 1:14. Holy shit, I got to work tomorrow, man. I got to work tomorrow. Lord have mercy. I heard that third wards are building apartments and renew houses. Yeah. They're tearing down some of the housing over there, and they're building like duplexes and shit and condos and apartments. I heard it's better just to rent than it is to sell houses, which is causing the inflation. Think about it. I mean, Rick said, yeah, that is good. We don't want Section 8 here, and we don't want government housing or anything like that here. Keep the crime away from us. Yeah. Keep it far away, Rick. Facts. Keep it far away. Come on now. Oh, my title says rating system is pointless. It is. The rating system is like basically, you walk up to somebody and say, what do you rate me out of a 1 to 10? Now, 10 is saying that the person is drop dead gorgeous. There's not a squeaky clean blemish on their face or their body. They're a complete 10. All right. A 1 is saying that they're the ugliest motherfuckers on earth. Or a 0. 0, whatever. I guess a 0. This is a 1 to 10, but let's just say a 1 is a 0. It's the same thing. Okay. A 5 is basically saying you're in the middle in looks. The thing is you have a lot of people that actually think they're a solid 10. And a lot of it comes from ego, false ego, and a lot of it comes up from gaslighting. Meaning a bunch of girls are saying they're 10s, but it's just because a bunch of thirsty guys in their DMs are telling them they're 10. They're not a 10. And as far as guys are concerned, if a guy's saying he's a 10, chances are he's not. He's just saying that. Why? Because he probably might have smashed like 10 girls in a week or something. So his little ego's, inflated. And he's like, yeah, I'm a 10 now. God damn it. It is what it is. No hate. Do you think Kevin sent they are a 10.10 out of 100? No, but I'm just saying, Zargon, and I know that most of these girls think they're a 10. And it's, look, listen. Okay, I get it. You know, you there's a lot of guys trying to talk to you. You know, you're probably attractive in some way. I'm not saying that you can't be a 10 or never can. I'm just saying that this is me personally. I think that most people are average looking. And that includes the girls. I think most people are between a 4 and a 6 in looks. I think if you took the average person, meaning out of everybody total, you took the average person, they're between a 4 and a 6. And there's nothing wrong with that. And the reason why I say a 4 and a 6 is because most people are average looking. And that's fine. You know, you're 4, you're 5, or whatever. You could do things to alter yourself to make yourself a better looking person. Let's say, you know, somebody may say, let's say for shits and giggles, they may say you're like, oh, you're a decent person, you're a decent looking person, you got a beautiful face. And then like you can alter it and maybe raise the score a little bit. Like, so you'll be like a 6 or a 7. You see where I'm going with that? So in other words, it's okay if you're average. It's okay to be average looking. You can alter your looks a little bit and you can raise your score up some. Maybe you'll get 1 point, maybe you'll get 2 points. That's cool. I've seen, Rick said, fun fact, I've seen people that were short but wore Timberlands to make themselves higher. Man, if you wear Timberland boots, that gives you like a 4-inch lift. So wear Timberland boots if you're a short dude. Let's say you're 5'5". You want to appear taller. Put on some Timberlands, you'll be a 5.9. You'll be 5'9". Let's say you're 5'7". Wear some Timberlands. You'll be 6'1". You'll be 6 feet. You can alter it a little bit, you know. You can always dress up and look good. Girls do it all the time. There's girls that are like a 4 or 3, but they'll doll up and then they'll be like a 5 or a 6. There ain't nothing wrong with that. The only thing I don't like, and I'll tell you guys this. The only thing I don't like is how much do I weigh now? I'm 225. I know, because when I went to emergency room, they weighed me. 225, that's how much I weigh. When I started at Walmart, I was actually 265. I'm like, woohoo. But but anyways, as far as your no, I'll tell you one thing I don't like. The most I ever weighed was almost 300. I think I was like 295. That's the most I ever weighed. I can recall weighing. And I'm 225 now. So was that like 70 pounds? The thing I don't like the most in women, I hate to say this, but I have to kind of call you out a little bit on this. Okay? I hate the filtering on the photos. I hate that option. Why? Why did they make that option? It's one thing to angle your photos a certain way. You angle that shit. Let me get my good side in. And you take pictures. You're like, psh, 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 pictures. Right. But one thing I can't stand is the filter, the altering of the photos. Now, you want to talk about deception. To me, I think that's a huge deception. It's to alter your entire look
unfiltered because they have the options, man. You can do that. Like I knew like for one of my homegirls, all the pictures she would take didn't even look like her. I'm like, what? Huh? And I realized she was using filters. Like she would light up the photo or darken it a little, and then she would take it a certain way, and then she would like go through the options and do certain things. And I'm kind of like, you know, I guess that's fine and all because the option's there to do it, but it's like, don't you think that's kind of being a little deceiving? I mean, because like if you're gonna meet a guy in person and you kind of don't look like your picture or pictures, isn't that kind of like bad? I mean, I'm just saying for the record, isn't that kind of bad? I mean, I'm just saying it, I'm being honest. Yeah, the Facebook smartphones messed up the dating game. I agree, Johnny. Johnny says 36, you remember smartphone error. Internet is easy as ordering pizza. No, I didn't lose 170. Most I ever weighed was 295. And when I was at Walmart, I was 265. That was April of 2020. Now it's May 2022, and I'm 225. I still think I could lose another 15, 20 pounds. He said Facebook messed up the dating game. I heard that Facebook does the dating shit now. You can go on Facebook. And I'm like, what? Facebook offers that, bruh? No way. I'm 5'11", actually. Not 6 feet. Wish I was 6 feet. 5'11". Remember I was at the when I was in the emergency room, they checked my height and it was 5'11". I'm like, all right, bet. Some people say it's short, some people say it's tall. I guess it just depends on who you are. It all depends on how you interpret it. Yeah, 200 is not a bad weight. You're 5'9", 195 pounds. It's not bad, Crispy. It's not bad at all. That's a decent weight. I tried Facebook dating before. It's trash. I just met a woman in real life now. I've never used Facebook dating. I always saw that app. I'm like, man, why the hell would Facebook jump into that? I just thought it was dumb. You're 6'2"? Wow, Donovan is 6'2" at 150 pounds. Unbelievable. You're 6 feet tall. You want to be 5'5"? Nah, man, what's wrong with being 6 feet? Most girls like tall guys. What's wrong with being 6 feet, bro? There ain't nothing wrong with being 6 feet. I wish I was 6 feet. Because you ask most girls what ideal guy they want as height, they always say 6 feet. They always say 6, 7 feet. I don't know why, but they always do. Yeah, acute back pain sucks. Rick said I've had it before. Yeah. And it can turn into chronic back pain if you don't stretch or fix it. Back pain is no joke, my guy. Bro, anything under 5'7" is an incel. I barely made the cut at 5'9", but 6'0" is the ideal. Yeah, I know. That's just because that's where the bar was set for us. The bar was set for us to be 6 feet because that's the ideal height that women like is 6 feet. 6-figure income, 6 feet. Just saying. Rick says you need to do live stream on Facebook. I do plan on doing that.
You did that before. Awesome. I made a fake profile on 10 out of 10. Chad, his box was flooded. With messages. Damn. Zargon said out here with the 666 demonic energy. Facts. I can wear some Timbs and be 5'11. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, Timberlands are a good brand to wear. I like the Timberlands. And like I said, you can easily put them on. It'll give you like 3-4 inches in height. I've seen a lot of short dudes rocking Timberlands, and that's why, because it gives you that extra height, gives you that extra height advantage. It's like, have you ever seen a woman wear like those stilettos or real high heels, and she's short, but not that really. I don't think men really care about a woman's height. They care more. We care more about looks anyway. But she wears like stilettos or fucking 4-inch heels and shit, and she looks taller, but that's because the shoe made her look that way. She's really short. You said your back pain is what? Oh yeah, back pain sucks, man. Especially lower acute back pain. Lower acute back pain is the worst, bro. It's the worst ever. You don't want it. Let's see what he says. He said, not only that, I made a fake Chad mean to women and still wanted to get with the Chad. Wow. That's why I'm saying most men are not getting laid. Women have just too many options. So the standards are too high. The 80-20 rule is real. Well, I believe in the concept of the 80-20 rule. But I don't believe I don't believe that 20% of the men are getting 80% of the girls. I don't believe in that number, but I do think that about 30% of the men are getting vast majority of the girls. All right? That's what I think. Yeah, the Mavericks did win today. The series is 2-1. No, but I agree that most men aren't getting laid, or most men don't have options. Hence why when women say men are desperate or thirsty, they always resort to like, oh, well, you guys just holler at anything, blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, considering the fact that most men don't have options, men can only fuck what they can get in theoretics. Men can only fuck what they can get. It's not like they just wake up or like, oh yeah, I want to fuck Lindsay Lohan, or I want to fuck, fucking whoever. It's not like that. You have to put in a lot of work as a man to even get girls to even look your way or notice you. And there are some guys that don't even have to do any of that at all. They can finesse so well. My brother's that way, and he can get girls like it ain't nothing. He doesn't date as much anymore, but when he used to really be serious about it, oh yeah, he used to talk to chicks and meet up chicks and stuff like that. I'm a 6 and I haven't, and you haven't what? You haven't had sex in over 2 years? I'm invisible to women and I'm above average. 10 years ago, I was dating 2 or 3 women at the time. Damn. Oh yeah, I remember that. You see, I'm telling you, the average man ain't getting like 50% of American men are into incel now. And even some guys are in marriage relationships are not having sex. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I think most men are ignored by most girls. I do believe that. Rick, I do believe that. I just don't know if it's 80% of the men. I want to say it's more like 70. That's what I think.
That's just my opinion. Oh yeah, that's right. Tomorrow's Saturday. Holy shit, we're entering the weekend. Rick said, "I can't believe you got back pain. You still managed to go to work." Yeah, I missed like a day of work, day and a half. Yeah, my Texans did have a good draft. Absolutely. You ever hate it when your mind plays tricks on you? You thought you saw a ghost? I thought I saw a ghost walk by. For some odd reason, my mind plays tricks on me. No, I'm not drinking. None of that. I'm just I had my eyes closed for a sec, and I just felt like this black, like dark shadow went by me. I'm just kind of like, oh shit, thought I saw a ghost. Even though I've never seen a ghost before. My buddies claim they've seen like their loved ones in the afterlife, like walking around, being in the house and stuff. Damn, I can't believe I'm on 3 hours 16. Did you wish Houston didn't have a crime? Yeah, our crime rate's gone up. That sucks too. Houston's crime rate has gone up. That's not good. Rick said, "When are you going back to Dallas?" Well, if my back didn't go out, I was going to go on Sunday and Monday, and I had a buddy of mine named Connor who was going to let me stay at crash at his place for 2 days, and we were going to go to Louisville Lake and a couple other places, do some filming, and I was going to do a live stream, but that didn't work out when my back went out. I got to go see a spine specialist on Monday, and they're basically going to inject my spine with Teradol, and basically it just brings down the inflammation and swelling. They say it works, and once I do that, it should be okay. So I'll probably go to Dallas. I'm thinking next month. Yeah, working 2 jobs gives me the ability to make the extra income that I can make so that I can go out and do the things that I enjoy doing. That's how I look at it, bro. Like May 28th, I'm going to go to a wrestling event. Where in Florida? I don't know, I'm thinking probably sometime next year. That'll probably be on my bucket list. What part of Florida are you in? You said you're by Tampa Bay, right, Crispy? I think you said you're in Florida, right? I think that's what you told me. Yeah, I'll go. Oh, you're in St. Petersburg? Cool. Oh, you're 30 minutes from Tampa Bay? That's what's up, bro. I have a local wrestling event out here, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to go this time. Yeah. Territorial wrestling is going up in Chicago, New York, Jersey, Houston, Florida. Wrestling is territorial wrestling, local wrestling is getting big. Did you meet Booker T at the last show? Yeah, go watch my last video, bro. You'll see Booker T in the video. It's his wrestling company. It's called ROW, Reality of Wrestling. Cool guy. Booker T's an amazing guy. Nice, cool, laid back, keep good conversation. Good dude. Oh yeah, I saw your videos you posted on that, Steven. Yeah. We had a 12 women tournament. 12 women and 6 singles matches for the first round. The advancing 6 winners had 2 triple threat matches. And then the winners of that match, they faced in the final match. And then the winner won the crown. Oh yeah, it's a little pause. He's sleep. He's real tired right now. He's a little boy. Yeah. Yeah, I want to go to Dallas again, man. But like I said, it's probably gonna be. I'm thinking in June. I'm gonna go again in June. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Rick said, if you go to Dallas, give me a souvenir. I'll get you something. What's my favorite finisher, signature, and submission? Submission, I say the crippler crossface. I don't know what signature move means. My favorite finisher? Oh god. Um, favorite finisher. Um, let's see. Give me a second. I'm thinking. Sorry, I accidentally dozed off. My bad. A nice pick. I'm looking at St. Petersburg right now. Nice. That's where you live, Crispy, right? Yeah, I remember when you showed me Hulk Hogan's house out there. Halloween. I mean Hollywood. Hulk Hogan. Me too. The crippler crossface by Benoit. Yeah, the crippler crossface is a good move. I don't know what you mean by signature move. I thought that was all the same move. Man, I can't believe I'm falling in and out of sleep. But I don't want to go to sleep. But then I kind of want to. Then I kind of don't. Then I kind of want to. Then I don't. Then I want to. Then I don't. Yeah, I already said everything I said about Kevin Samuels. I don't have any beef with the guy. Like I said, I got nothing. I got no issues with Kevin Samuels. You know, it sucks that he passed away. What's the difference between a signature move and a finisher? I sure as hell don't know. I mean, I know what a finisher is. What the hell is a signature move? Is that just kind of like just some random move they do? Like, I'm trying to figure that part out. Signature and finishers are great. Most times, signature is set up to get to the finisher. Oh, okay. Interesting. RKO and 619. Oh, okay. Oh, Rick says, I love Dallas, man. Let me know when you go. Yeah, like I said, it's not going to be this month because my back. Still going to work and everything, but with my back and everything, I'm going to wait till next month. John Cena does a 5 knuckle shuffle, which is his signature. Then afterwards, Cena does the FU. Oh, Cena's 5 knuckle shuffle. Oh, okay, okay. What's my signature? Huh. I don't really have an answer for the signature. Again, finisher. I'll go with the of all the wrestlers. You know what I'm gonna go with? I'm gonna go with Triple H's atomic pedigree, where he picks up the arms and just drops you on your fucking head. I'm gonna go with Triple H Hunter Helmsley, the game. Yeah. The Rock has seen enough will shuffle. I love those moves. Yeah. Sounds good on paper. All right. Well, guys, it's getting to 1:43. I'm getting my ass tired. I'm barely can stay awake. So I'm gonna holler at y'all tomorrow, man. I appreciate y'all for being on my live stream, man. I'm gonna hit y'all up, man.